And that's what girls do. Hey, baby, please can you drop me off at Pick and Pay? Wah, 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 wah. And you're like, hey, sorry, I'm in it. Don't worry, I'll make a plan.
What does that mean? She can take an Uber.
You think she would have said, I'll take an Uber?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to comment. I'm going to comment A1.
Read the thing that you're gonna read.
No, it's long.
What the comment?
Yeah, this thing that he's gonna read here for
So
us.
so he's essentially
the
saying
Bible verse.
it's not a Bible verse. It's a big chunk. But this guy is talking about in his early 20s and the trauma that he has, you know, by being this innocent guy, by being this gentleman, what, and he was being gaslighted, he was being manipulated, emotional capitalism, I've never heard that word, cheating, blame shifting, lying, and he's breaking it down. And if you read every fucking comment is about the same thing, about Osisbenu lying to niggas. Let me tell you that Osisbenu are sneaky and they lie.
You know what's the
You are
problem?
defending them.
I'm not defending. I was just saying, you know, over time,
Yeah.
human beings by nature, I think people who are, let's say, that didn't have power before, dispossessed, I don't know if that's the right word, they mimic whoever had power before. After, like whoever has got power, they try to mimic that and try to become that. So black men, we mimic white men
power.
to become that, you know. So I think black women, because they didn't have all these things, who they mimic now is a black man, because the black man was the closest thing to them that had power from the home, even at work. They would still say, "Oh, this guy's got some sort of power." So I think black women are behaving the way black men behave.
No, they don't.
They do.
How?
So
By sleeping around. Is that what you're trying to say?
yeah, that's one of them.
That's mimicking.
Wait,
Sleeping around.
wait. Let the man
Yeah,
land.
okay.
Yeah. I'm not speaking the home stuff. I'm not speaking about that. Just the wretched behavior of sometimes amachita. Some women are like, look, if you can do it, I also can do it. Like, what makes you different?
You're lying, dog.
What do you mean?
Off camera, we're talking about Mavuso.
Yeah.
Which men were doing Mavuso? You know Mavuso?
No.
Please explain Mavuso to Kevin.
No, in fact, it's you. You take a girl
No,
at night
explain
and
the
you guys
culture.
negotiate. You guys negotiate that, look, when you wake up in the morning, you need to give me this money. So that term, the money, that is the term of that money. MCs.
Yeah.
It's called Mavuso. That you and I negotiated the night before. I'm gonna go with you home. You're gonna smash. You're gonna give me $200. So it's called Mavuso.
Oh, right.
That
Okay. got you.
transaction and the amount is called that.
So in the morning, it's not awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not awkward. It's not anything.
And she's not a prostitute.
Dude, let me tell you a funny story. One of my friends, this is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I know you can hit. What is it?
Because when you threw in that, like, oh, but she's not a prostitute. Like,
But he
I'm
didn't,
like, you've already, but already throwing in the, because, like, and not to say that it hasn't happened, but like, by the mere fact that you've gone, we've agreed on a price the night, whether it's the night before, the morning of, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're already prostituting yourself.
But he didn't give you the backstory.
But what is prostitution?
But he didn't give you the backstory.
No, but it is, though. He's correct. Yeah,
No,
what
No,
I
but
give
what?
him the
But
backstory of-
no,
he
but
didn't give you the backstory.
Hold on. So I'm going. Okay, maybe before the backstory, but I'm going. If Mavuso is, we agreed on a price the night before or the morning of, on the basis that we're going to go home, we're going to smash. That's prostitution.
Let me break it down.
Regardless of
I'm not
of
allowed to
how
break it
we
down.
met, who you are, whether you're an accountant or whatever, the mere fact that like you threw out the fact that like you said,
I want money.
alright, cool, we're gonna go home, but I want money. That's prostitution.
Because what is Mavuso? What is prostitution? It's a transaction for someone to
No,
sell
there's
their
always
body.
going to be a transaction. If you watch Boondocks and there's a time where Riley says, but you taking her out, buying her flowers, you paying for the hoe. You paying either way. So whether you give her 500 Rand cash, whether you take her on a date and buy her flowers, you still 500 Rand down. You're still paying in some form.
No, but hold on. So wait, are you saying
Yeah.
if you take a girl out on a date and you buy her flowers
And you pay.
of your own volition,
Yeah. No, it's the pressure.
So
It's a-
no,
it's a
no,
but
Kevin's right.
there's no pressure. You're saying no, but regardless, you're saying if I take a woman out and I decide as a man to buy her flowers,
out of pressure.
there's no pressure. I'm
There's
deciding.
societal pressure.
No, but
No.
who's
And there was
pressuring
no
me?
agreement.
Who's pressuring- if I've not said to you, hey Penson, I'm taking this girl out or whatever, I'm gonna
I
buy
need
a
to
flower.
buy-
Or no, actually, I don't even say that. I'm taking this girl out, and then you go, dog, you need to buy flowers, wada. Then maybe I can say,
But
there's a
society's
little bit of
whispering
pressure.
that.
No.
But
You're
if
a man
I
now,
decide,
why?
I can, like, as a man, if you go, I'm gonna just show
This
up.
is not an opinion. I am right. Sorry, I was just trying to sub someone.
Okay.
My bad. No, but there is a societal pressure, though.
The
Nah,
opinions
dog.
of Penson are not my
Nah,
opinions.
Penson.
No, but
There
like,
has to be-
regardless
You're wrong.
regardless of whether, for me, it's like if I decide to take a woman out and buy her flower, that's not. I can't equate that to prostitution.
But you're paying for a transaction.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not. How?
No.
How?
What are you getting? Nothing? Are you getting nothing?
Was there
in
an
return?
agreement that if we leave this
are you
house
getting-
now, you must buy me
Let
food,
me explain
buy me
Mavuso.
flowers?
Let me explain Mavuso because he didn't do a good job. So we were talking about subcultures, right?
Some guy from Newcastle
No.
telling me about my
So he was saying
this punk ass.
So he was talking about that he wants to record subcultures.
Yeah.
South African subculture. And we went and we spoke about Mamelodi. And Mamelodi is just its own country. Well, you said Val, ne?
Yeah, I started with Val. Yeah.
Val is its own country. And I was like, Mamelodi is its own country. Own language, own everything. It's just when you're there, it just feels. And then we went to the topic of Mavuso. Ne? Mavuso, you guys are in a club, a tavern, you name it, whatever the establishment, whatever the watering hole is. Ne? The MC or the announcer, ne? And he says, tonight, Mavuso is 300. He says, tonight, Mavuso is 300. He says it in the club. He says it in whatever establishment. Ne? At that point, are those females prostitutes? The MC said...
No, hold on. But the MC says it as a blanket statement.
It's a blanket statement. It's part of the
MC said it.
But how does that make all the? Because if I'm
No,
hearing it, that also, like, you, based on your statement, you're going, because this MC and you and I have the three of us have decided to show up at this club, right? For whatever reason, we've gone. Someone said, "Hey, gents, whatever."
No,
Based on your statement, you're going, if we show up there and he says this, all of us are all prostitutes.
No, I said the girls are not prostitutes.
Maybe let me tell you. Let's tell
I'm
Kev
the guy that says the girls are not prostitutes.
Marachega, the place is known for that. That
Oh,
one,
okay,
that
that's
one place.
different.
It's
Okay,
not like
okay.
all clubs and whatnot. It's just
Okay,
that
yeah,
one
sorry, yeah.
establishment
Is known
for that. It happens every single weekend until Monday. It's
Yeah.
known for that. So, the prostitute.
You can go there to drink. Just go and drink and leave.
No, but hold on. So if the place is known for that, so
Yes.
if the establishment is known for if you go to this joint, the likelihood is that you're going to win, i.e., if you have $300 or whatever, or 500 or 1,000, whatever the number
It's not
is.
the likelihood you're gonna win. They say if you win.
No, but the premise, once you show up there, is that there's hands here that if you pay them the right price,
Yeah.
you're going to win.
If I'm
And whether that win is you take the girl home, once the girl is at your house or whatever.
But the
If
numbers
you don't speak, you
because
you
now
don't
you
speak.
got 100 cheetahs.
No.
and
But
20
what I'm
girls.
saying is, but by the mere fact that you've shown up there, right?
Yeah.
You're already. It's like showing up at a strip club. You know what you're
You
showing
know.
up for.
It's not a strip club.
You know.
But it is.
It is.
So no.
What
But
do you
here's my
mean,
thing.
man?
You're showing. You're going. You're going. It's
I
like you.
believe
It's like.
women have the right to make their own decisions.
They made that decision to
women
go
are
with the guy.
queens,
What do you
and
mean?
Those women that are at those Mavuso establishments are not prostitutes, unlike the views of Kevin Nguri and Debza Kibine.
No, don't add a disclaimer now because now you want to.
Kanjani, because I said they're not prostitutes. Just because you guys decide which you leaving with the chick and you pay her 500 and Mavuso the
No,
following day.
but you're going to an establishment where you
That
know
does that. Yeah.
that
What are
like
many things that you
the
know?
girls. So, because
What is the
you're
diff-
already walking like
You know you're right.
That's like you saying you walk it like. Dog, you don't go to the Grand or EXO or whatever.
Because there's an
and you're
amount
like,
for that
Ah,
day.
you know, a lot
I'm
of
just-
these places.
Yes,
it's
I
social
know
media.
that. It's social media.
Social
Social.
media
I learned
comes
these things from social.
This is-
Exactly.
What do you mean?
I
Social
learned
media.
these things from social. Anyway,
comes across. Yeah, this
you
guy.
go to these joints and then you're gonna show up there and you're gonna go. Okay, fine. Let me put it this way. A lot of people who've been to the Grand.
You have a coffee and you go. home.
No, hold on. A lot of people who've been to the Grand will tell you. Most people will say the Grand has nice food.
It does, though.
Right?
Yeah, it
right?
does.
Right? You see, here's one man who.
No, I've heard that.
Yeah,
it does.
Oh,
exactly.
you've also heard.
But
Yeah,
you've
for sure.
heard that
Social
the Grand
media,
has nice food, right?
Yeah.
So if I
guys,
say,
social media, yes, bula.
if I say, yeah, no, I went to the Grand for nice food. Dog, that's bullshit.
How you say it's bullshit?
Excuse my French.
Because on the one side you said there's no
But
social pressure.
the fact that
on
you're
me.
there for the
Where's the
you're
one
not
in,
there
on
really
that,
for the
where's
food.
that one on that
dog.
Fourways Road? What is it called?
4 ways.
Rivonia. What?
Oh,
is that?
the one by the VW.
Yeah, what is that?
Um,
Apparently there has got nice food. Buffet.
Hooters.
No, man, it's like top notch.
Oh.
You pay like 1,000 rands or 500 rands to go in there. They've got like a dope buffet.
it's the Grand.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Grand.
remember on that.
The Grand is the one that's known for nice food.
Oh, okay. The Grand. So whether it's summit
What food are you eating, guys?
Prawns.
There's sushi. There's a whole buffet.
And on Zaki, but I've heard like people like, oh, it's amazing. So
The sushi lab.
here's what I'm saying.
A grand.
This Mavuso is, remember this is an establishment.
Sure.
It can be equated to a summit.
Yeah.
How much either going there to have a drink, like the Grand, exactly the same thing. But the women know that, oh, there's an amount for today. Like today, in fact, 200. Or Manining, it's like it's those 15 January, there's no money. They're like, I fit it's 100 rands, for Fanda.
You've
So you know.
accepted the prostitution.
You know.
No, you haven't accepted it.
You have.
Do you think ordinary?
Because as a woman, if you've shown up there,
Just a value exchange.
No,
It's a value exchange.
Do you think the woman who goes there, she's going for drinks?
Yeah, well, if I take my girl there, we're going to have drinks.
Unfortunately, you're not a woman.
but there's a joint. So would you take your woman there, knowing
Thank
it's a place
you.
where
Yes.
Mavuso happens?
Yeah, and you can have drinks with your woman.
No, your Penson.
We know about
your
it.
woman. Your woman. Would
Yeah.
you take your woman to a place where Mavuso happens?
Oh, it depends who owns the place.
No. It doesn't matter whether I own the place.
Owned by
No,
Usizwe,
it doesn't
then I'll
matter.
make sure.
No.
Hey, bro, I'm
No, but what I'm asking you is
Bring the
this.
squad.
No, but hold on.
You're
What
a
I'm asking you is
psychopathic
this.
liar. What's wrong with you now?
If you know the place
Yeah.
is known for Mavuso,
Yeah.
would you take your wife? Not. Would you take your girl, your woman
So
that,
first,
that you're
first and foremost,
serious about?
I wouldn't go to a place like that.
Thank you. It's done.
all?
The conversation
No, you
is
just
done.
said 2 seconds ago. You were like, yeah, no, but if
it's
it's
owned
owned
by-
by, I'll go there.
No,
If it's owned by Kevin, I'll go there. If it's owned by,
I'll support. Even if you
Ah,
own
you
the
know,
strip
if
club,
Kevin-
I'll still support you.
I'll still support Kev, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
come
support
on.
if you had a strip
yeah,
club.
no,
I'd
but sure,
support.
yeah, but you're not gonna be there. You're not gonna. But it's different.
How's
If you're
it
coming there, no. But if you're
How's
coming
it
there to go, because in all likelihood you're gonna show up there on some. Hey, okay, we're here at your spot, whatever, and then you're gonna. You're in all likelihood gonna expect. Hey, chief, listen. This bottle you charge it at 1,000. Kev, come on, I'm not gonna pay.
I wouldn't do that.
Whatever.
I'd support you. I'd pay exactly what's on the board.
You must just give it a Mavuso less.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
see,
what
I
you're
knew
saying.
I'm not there for Mavuso.
You see, I knew.
How am I there for Kev's Mavuso's club?
Anyway,
I'm there to support.
What are you saying about this story of yours?
So anyway, I'm going back to the sneaky shit. And
So also, how are you linking this? Wait, okay. Let me break this down. Hold on.
we were
So
talking about
first
how
of all-
manipulating
No,
as
but
females are.
what I'm trying to get back to is, you had a woman approach you at the gym,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then now you said
in
you
my
linked.
mind-
No, hold on.
Yeah.
You linked this woman approaching you at the gym
Yeah.
to being manipulative to Mavuso.
Okay. Let me go back. Nah?
Land this thing for me.
I'll tell
'cause
you.
I'm not.
Personal. Let me unpack
Don't be
some.
too personal. Relax
I
yourself.
hurt myself. Yeah. Because
It's a
I've
personal
been
story.
told, in my personal life, and I know some other guys have been told, where they're like, oh no, I'm just going with a colleague for lunch. I've been told that.
Okay.
And the next thing you find out, Uguti, it's
To a place that does Mavuso.
No, just a
no,
normal place.
like, hey,
So we're done with Mavuso.
yeah, done with Mavuso. I've been told, hey, no, I'm going with a colleague for lunch. Nah? In my mind, you think colleague for lunch, you guys are going to stairs. Like you're not thinking too much until you find out, Uguti, what colleague looks like, what lunch is. So you are told the bare minimum of certain things. Just going for a colleague with lunch. Until you told I'm going with a guy and the lunch looks like a date. It's not just you guys going for wings or whatever. It's at a proper restaurant. So you sit down, it's a what. It looks worse than what it is. No man, I'm just driving with a colleague. It seems like, and then you realize it's actually worse than. So no, hey, my couple of friends of mine are having a braai.
You guys have been hurt.
In my mind, when you think,
Hey, you guys have been
sharing
hurt.
your shit,
People can't even go on lunch.
fuck that shit.
Hey, you guys have been hurt. Yo.
I'm trying to explain. So
Let me get your eyes.
you hear, no man, a couple of friends of us were having a braai.
Sure.
In my ignorant mind, it's like, yeah, there might be a guy, something there, but like it's all like friends. You don't think, Guti, this thing is set up in such a way where they're having a braai, whatever it is, it's 4 guys, 4 girls. And your girl is one of the 4. So Bamechile boy 4. And you didn't know that until you did a bit of cyber digging, and then you realize, excuse me, ay man. Because these 2 are dating, known. These 2 are chowing each other, known. These 2 are also chowing each other, known. These ones, this guy has been wanting her. Yeah, she pushed away a little bit. But then you realize, but you're going to say it's a braai with friends. And when I spoke about that in this video, so many guys could relate with that. So many guys could relate with the sneakiness of how certain things are put. And now
I mean, like, you could argue that, like, I look at that and I go, yeah, if your friends try and set you up, that's also how you end up potentially meeting your future wife. Like,
how many times has that happened, Kev?
What?
no, I'm just saying, like, like, I'm all I'm saying is, like, if, like, are you, and maybe I'm interpreting this wrong, like, if I invite you, no, listen, if I meet a girl tomorrow, let's say from work or whatever the case might be, and I'm like, hey, this girl is like this or whatever, and in my mind, the immediate thing I go to is, oh, I think, hey, you know what? Because I know Penson, I think this girl would be perfect for him. And then I phone you and I go, hey, dog, I met this girl, whatever. I think you and her.
But
and
she's
you're like,
dating.
whatever. Huh?
But she's dating.
No. Maybe she's not. Maybe
That
she's
doesn't-
not.
but that doesn't matter.
I'm talking about the case. I said the bright thing. And I said, Guti, okay, says I'm going to be with friends. She's
Penson.
dating.
That thing means nothing.
Imagine your partner. Hear me out. Because I want to go back to Kevin.
Yeah.
Your partner is going out for lunch. There's a couple that are just smashing, dirty, by a cheater because they have people.
Yeah.
Second couple, by a smash and a dirty because they have what.
And then there's my partner.
And then there's your partner and there's a guy. And this guy has been trying to get into your partner. And your partner
But he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah,
This was the past.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. Now you find out about that. That's my job. But when you find out, your insecurities just go up. Because you start thinking, what other... Just because you might not have experienced the manipulation and the lies.
So who... in that scenario, who invited his... Like, if you're using the same scenario...
One of the girls.
One of the girls is his girl's friend or whatever, right?
Yeah. Work husband.
Work husband.
Hey, that's
And
a
then
favorite topic.
because so no, and I get the insecurity thing because yes, sure, like you'll go then
Who
what
invited
happened?
you? And then
Who invited?
and she says Palace, and you're like, yeah, no ways.
Why is Palesa trying to set you up?
No,
whatever,
but you don't
whatever.
know that. They
But like you're
just
because also
drinks with friends. Just having drinks
yeah.
with
So
friends.
like no, I can get the insecurity going up, but it's like
Can I tell you where this comes from? the four of us have done things that we're not proud of in our previous lives. Ne?
I mean,
done
I'm
anything
fine.
that I'm not
I'm
proud
not.
of,
I'm not. I'm not.
Oh,
proud of.
wow, just
I mean, everything I've done, I'm proud of.
yes. So I'll keep on my fast. It's up there, we're proud of him. So let me tell you a quick story. I'm driving to Lapore. Ne?
What are you doing at Labori?
With the red
What?
light.
What are you doing at Labori?
Which year was this?
It was long ago.
Okay, perfect.
What are you doing there?
Long ago.
What were you driving there?
Do you know
Give me
that
out.
red light
I was
on Empire?
driving a little Apollo. So you know I
Were
was
you
the
going
boy.
there for sushi?
Oh,
Was the sushi good there?
yeah, the grand sushi.
Was the sushi
Let me
good
tell my
there?
story before you guys
I'm
address.
asking you. a question.
So I was there for bad intentions. Ne?
Yeah?
Cool.
I was there for bad intentions.
Uh-huh.
So this chick lives with her boyfriend. She
At
lives
Labori?
with her boyfriend at Labori. She lives with her man at Labori. Ne? So I drive and then this chick ne, says, you need to say you my cousin. Ne?
To who? To security or
To-
to the
to her
to
man.
the man?
Wait, you go in there and the man is there and the guy.
Listen,
Hey, this man did
listen,
bad things,
Linda.
boy.
Listen.
He did
Okay,
bad
sorry,
things.
sorry, brother.
This man did bad things.
No, you guys have also done. I'm just open. So she then says, I told this guy that we cousins. Ne?
Hold on. So this girl invited you over while her man was there, and then said to you, "When you show up, my man is going to be here. Say you are my cousin."
She then
And you
says,
agreed. How old are you?
I'm a
No,
child.
you know why he agreed? It's not even about how old he is. He agreed because he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna go and fuck this gent over. I'm gonna." And in fact,
I promise you,
and
on my
knowing
life,
this guy, he
on
was
my
like,
life. On-
knowing Penson,
on my life.
he was there like on some,
on my life.
I'm gonna-
on my life, ne? Literally, she said this, and I was either driving in or was about to drive in. I didn't even know she had a man. That's the messed up
Ufuna
thing.
kumshaya ngestina, boy.
No, you're not even hearing. I didn't even know she's got a man. Ne?
Kumshaya ngestina, boy.
So, in that,
No, it's a new show. Oh, damn.
so I didn't even know she had a man.
okay.
Honest. She never posts nothing about. And again, this is back in the day. Because when did I drive that pole? Like, Jesus Christ. I'm talking about like probably 2014.
Yeah.
Long ago. There. Like, as like 30 seconds before I get there, Ngama reporting by Empire, she sends that message. Oh, Jesus, I'm already here. Ne? I'm picking up just to go for drinks. I go there, she's with her man, and this guy's like, good man, you know, he's so humble. And I'm just like, I'm like a deer stuck in lights. I'm like, and no, yeah, she said that Kroni when someone has a big funeral, so what, and I'm like, and she's dressed in black. She's got like a little jersey cardigan thing on, and she's dressed in black. So I'm looking at this girl, and I'm looking at Watwati. Nah, I'm looking at this girl, I'm looking at this. I'm like, yeah, okay. She gets into the she's got a bag. She's got a bag. We're just going for drinks. Nah? To this day, we just went for drinks. Nothing happened.
Don't lie.
I wanted it to happen.
Don't lie.
Let me I
They went out,
lost.
but the guy was there,
But
remember?
no, the guy wasn't there.
No, he took her out.
No,
He
I
left
took her
with
out.
He left with her.
But
with the
hear me
bag.
out. No. It's not that nothing happened because I wasn't trying. I tried and failed.
Oh.
So we go out.
That specific night, but you
That no,
you smashed before.
no. That specific night we go out. Ne? She takes off this top. She's one we got for drinks. We have literally probably like I'm like, okay, sharp. I need to go. I saw you got a bag. I don't know what the thing is about. I don't know what the draw. She's like, don't worry, I'll find my way back home. I was like, in my mind, I was like, but I heard you say to your man that you are away for the weekend.
He's going to another
heard,
nigga.
I heard you say that. And I was like, you want to find your way home? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm out.
She was. They double played them niggas.
No, I was trying to be like, hey, no.
You were the
hey,
cousin
no,
with the
hey, no.
funeral. That was the boyfriend. There's another nigga.
And then I was the pre-drinks after the parties, the hotel. I was like,
But I get you've heard women.
So where did you drop her off?
No, I left. She said she's cool.
No, the guy was
left.
coming. That's why. The other guy was
The
coming.
other guy,
Yeah.
the next.
So yeah, it was just pre-drinks, man.
I was there just to warm her up.
No, but there are girls like that.
But with that being said, I've had situations where I've been in very, very awkward places. And you're like, But like, sis, you didn't say. And a lot of these girls will never post their nigga. And I always realize they don't post their nigga for one of two reasons. One, the chance is doing something dodgy, and they don't want to post that because now for Forex. Or two, she's just trying to sell ass, bro. So she's not posting the guy because she's trying to sell ass. I don't understand why you need to. If you are in a loving relationship, after time X, whatever your time X is, you don't have to post them every day, bro. But like if you guys are out for lunch, just if it's worth posting your meal, yeah, leave a little dumpy in there, or have a little cut of Kevin. Maybe he doesn't like being on camera. Sharp. In a relationship, thank you to my man. If you have been in there for the long term, why would you hide the fact that you're dating? You don't have to post but like I see these ladies and I'm going, it just doesn't make sense.
But okay, I hear you. But
It's
what about
sneaky,
people
bro.
that just want to keep their shit private?
Why would you have an issue with it?
How do you keep your shit private? Here's my problem. How do you keep your shit private, but you got your titties and your ass hanging out on Instagram?
Damn.
No, but your account is
not
private.
saying-
So private.
Your account is private. The only people you let access to maybe are your friends and people you like.
No, I'm talking about the girls. I'm not talking about the girls that have 300 followers on Instagram. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the girls that have 300,000 people on Instagram and they say my life is private, but everything private about them is out there. Make that make sense.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Those are the girls I'm trying to talk to, bro. Like they're the ones that are taken on holiday to Bali. They wearing those thongs that go up and then the one that cut cake in front. What?
You know those things.
Yakolisa.
those
But
things deep.
yes, and they there and they wearing like who goes to Bali alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No,
so
okay.
so we go. So you've shown us the most private parts of you, but you're gonna tell us, Guti, you're a private person.
I mean,
Yeah, no, at that
I mean,
point
she
it's-
said she's
yeah.
private. You can go through it. You know her very well. We had
I don't know anyone.
We
very
had a
well.
conversation with her on the panel show.
Oh, come on.
Who's that?
No, don't say names. Just I've got stories for days, boy. Let me tell you something.
She says she's private. She was on the panel show.
Off
this
camera.
This one says.
Hey, don't say
private.
people's
No,
names.
I know.
She says she's private.
She's private, i.e., I keep my stuff private.
Yes, that's what.
Yes.
She was on the panel show, and hey,
Is the account private? Did you say account?
no, account is
No,
not
of
private.
course not.
You know what she said? She said to us outside. I mean, no one knows. No one knows who this is, so it's fine. She said, for a nigga to date me, at a minimum, you need to be making 150.
Minimum
Here's
cash money.
my
In
thing
my
about
life,
that.
remember,
man.
you have to pick up one.
Hey.
You won't say the name, but she said outside. I remember we were interviewing another person out.
And she's not
That's what
talking.
you wanna keep
And,
my-
and she's not talking 150 cross. Talking about like cash money now.
She said, for you to date me, 150.
now.
My man, I was like, you.
But also, how do you know what I earn?
Your lifestyle.
Yeah,
Your
your
show.
lifestyle talk.
Money
but like-
shows. Eh?
You can only
No, but
assume.
no, granted. Oh, hold on. That's also another conversation.
Okay.
Around the type of money that shows, because also and again, I'll use this as a personal perspective. Like I look at it, and we can have all sorts of arguments about it and whatever. Hey, this one. It's a good thing I'm not on social media, but anyway.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly.
Yeah.
We'll go
I look at
extreme,
it and
it's
I
fine.
go like, I think all of us have heard that whole argument about like, white people don't show off their wealth, whereas black people, like as soon as we get some money or whatever, now we want to show. I must wear Louis Vuitton top, Gucci.
Sure.
The mixture is just all over the show, right? But what if I just happen to be that guy who, yeah, sure, I might be making some good, but I decide to invest my money in other areas, so you don't necessarily see it. I could be making that money,
But
so I might not outwardly show it. I.e., you're not gonna see me at
Kev, listen-
Saint as an example in decked out it or whatever, right? But I'm there. I can afford to be there. I'm making that money.
you there tick.
Exactly. That's you showing it. The fact that on the first date, you're not going to dope your zero.
Okay, no.
Already,
No. But what I'm saying is,
I'm saying she's able to measure.
No, but Ukev doesn't understand, Uguti. These ladies have been with so many high caliber
They
men.
know.
They know what it is. So you guys can go for a standard coffee and muffin.
but what are you doing?
But
Here's my question.
But hear me out.
But I get so hold on. The thing I was trying to get to with this was to go. Okay, Sharp, you're saying I don't want to date a man who's not earning 150 plus or whatever. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
But
she
hear
doesn't
me
have to
out.
do
No,
anything.
but hear me
So
out.
if you're not,
Okay,
if you're
okay,
a fucking
okay,
waitress, if you're a waitress at, or if you're working at McDonald's,
the McDonald's ladies.
How can
She
you-
want
how
to
can
run
you-
there.
But
Kev, you're missing.
But you're
Explain,
missing it. The
explain.
McDonald's ladies are hitting guys that earn 25K.
No, but she
earning
could
8.
also like hold on.
Kev,
Hold on. So let me get so. Well, again, not to
Okay,
mention
so,
names. There's some people who are at what he's shown us, né?
Yeah.
But and not to knock real estate agents, but they're real estate agents. You're a real estate agent. Cool. You're making your money. You're earning commission. You're selling. You might be selling, houses within a specific
100
bracket.
billion, yeah.
So you're only selling houses within Camps Bay, blah de blah, whatever.
you're making
right?
bank.
And you're making some good commission. So you sell a 50 million rand house, you make 10% or 5% come off of that. Cool.
0.3.
Whatever. Or
Yeah.
0.3, whatever. So, but you're still making some good money.
Sure.
But who are you to say that I must
No,
earn?
but it's a standard because we know that women are hypergamous. So I'm trying to say with you, how do they find? There's markers, Kev. Right now, you dressed so humbly. You dressed down. Né? First and foremost, you pulling up to her in a test. She's already minused you.
Yes.
Hey, my
Né?
man, that's me.
Okay.
Fuck.
Sharp. Né? So it's me now we're out. Kevin drives a Merc. So already indicates a number one. Kevin drives a Merc. It's parked outside.
No, he doesn't drive a Merc. He
don't.
drives a Maserati.
Yeah, guys, it's come among you. But anyway, so now you say, let's go have coffee and muffin. Yeah? Now, I want you to just be honest. Who do you bank with?
Who, me personally?
Yeah, who do you bank with? Who do you
Why are
bank
you
with?
trying to go there, dog?
No, because again, there's indicators. Who do you bank with?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm back with investing.
You bank with Investec, né? So you a private client in Investec, and we know that Investec, to bank with them, you need a minimum of 65K and up. So the moment you're paying for muffins, something sonje, a muffin,
The card.
But I could be paying it for muffins at Tasha's.
Doesn't matter. The card was
hear me
already
out, hear me
checked.
out. You guys are going to a little Koko place. The muffin is 20 rand, the coffee is 5 rand, whatever. Ne? The fact that you're pulling out your Investec card,
Thank you.
she says, because again, we're not talking about low-level ladies. We're talking about ladies that have gone through it. So they see indicators way better than us gents.
You know what
So-
Maponya said? Sorry to cut you there. It's linking to what you say. He says, money is a way to expose itself. And you it was the card. If we're going with the story. It's the card. It's not necessarily the restaurant. She knows, hey, the card let's paying for this thing at 20 rand. How much money is in that card? So money has a way of showing itself.
Ne?
And you don't even think about it. But
And you're
it
not
has a
thinking
way.
about it because you're like, it's such a, we take
when it's a card.
We went for a walk and then
Yeah.
first date was just a walk in a park. She didn't see my car.
Yeah.
I just said we're gonna meet at this tap. We met at this tap. I'm dressed in just maxed Mr. Price stuff. She doesn't see anything. We get Powerades, ne? Or we get ice cream
What's
somewhere,
that?
and you just pull out the
tap.
Investec and you tap. And she goes,
Oh,
got him.
okay, done.
Got him.
It's done. It's exactly like that.
You know, and then at the end she just wants to double check with your car. She's like, no, let's walk to the car park. And she goes, sees the cars, done. She can put you in a specific bracket.
Because these people, they hunt. They know these
They
things.
know
man.
these things, bro.
They chill by the
They
restaurant by
sneaky.
themselves and they're looking at all the niggas.
No, you can see that shit. Like
They're
it's like,
so sneaky.
and the funny thing is, you go to some of
But
these
you were
places and
defending
you go-
sneaky women initially. But anyway.
No. Oh, they're not linked.
No, but there's the ones where you go like, and you can see it from a mile away. They've been sitting at the restaurant,
Yeah, by them-
mizing one bottle of wine,
No, but we're not
sipping
talking,
it so slow. It's like,
no, but we're not talking about those girls. No, we're not talking about those. I'm talking about girls.
and then they'll only sip it another 30 minutes
I'm
later.
talking about girls that within them know how to hustle 40, 50K a month within their own hustles.
But
They
like
know
I'm
how they
going,
can
I'm
get
going.
that.
Is it as sustainable? And I, you know, I would love for one of these girls to like admit that that's their hustle.
No, they
You know
do
what I mean?
admit it.
No, most
they
of them
don't.
don't.
No, but
Most
you
of
guys
them
are
don't.
cheap- but you guys-
No, what I'm saying is like
prostitutes, yes.
There's,
I know,
there's-
strippers will admit their hustle.
there's-
So
there's-
here's the thing:
there's girls,
a stripper, right? And will admit her hustle.
but it's a different language, Kev.
But I'm going. If your hustle is you're going to hustle, the three of us here. You give a 10, you give a 10, I give a 10. What? Admit your hustle.
But what
that's
I'm
your
trying-
hustle.
But what I'm
It's
trying to
fine.
say, what I'm trying to say is that there's girls that are hustling Kotave, and then there's girls that are hustling at entry level,
At the
Then-
mark. Yeah.
and then there's girls that are there at those restaurants where a bottle of water costs $45. Like a little bottle like this is 45. There's ladies that are
I
there
think those.
hustling.
There's a girl
those.
called Katine or something. I think she hustles at that level.
Don't say people's names. People's names are expensive, bro.
Oh, damn it! So.
Because I can drop some names of high level females
Oh.
off
Let me
camera
drop them.
that I know for a fact. I'm a cheater that I know just said here, and the girl said sure. Nabbed.
Marabafet,
Nah.
let me put a span in the works. Just
Girl got married
you know, but
after being nabbed for an amount.
hey, these girls now. Anyway, let me not get too
I want
passionate.
to tell you a story about a guy that was in this kitchen, but I don't want to say it.
It's fine. I think I know him.
No, I want to tell you a story that you don't know.
Oh, thank you. You know, I wanted to go. I wanted to go extreme, but I'm not. You know, there's a friend of mine. Because don't cheat alone. He was not dated this girl, but smashing Yana there and there. You know, this is linked to what you're saying, but off topic Yana. Smashes this girl, and then man, nothing happens for like 2-3 years. But he knows the girl, man. They see each other in places. Man, then 2 years later, sometimes like no man. He sees this girl there at a place, and the girl's like, no man, we can live together for now and then. Ndanga in his mind is like, man, sick rand. In fact, like, there's nothing, because I used to smash you. So it's like, even if we smash you, there's nothing. I want grand, they go home, smashes in the morning. Goes like, I need 10,000. Hey, what?
This girl that he knows.
Yeah, that he knows. That's the messed up thing about this whole situation. I need 10,000. 10,000? For what? Ndanga is confused. How? No, in fact, you slept. If you don't, I'm going to open a case of rape. Yo. Ndanga called all of us. Some
You
of
see,
us-
this is
some
my
of us tried
fundamental
to help
issue with
him,
that.
but most of
you
the
see,
things-
This is my thing about like
The guy-
where society has gone to now.
Let me tell you
Where
what
you're
the
like,
guy did. So you can add in. The guy sold his fridge, TV,
no,
microwave.
dog. You see, that's
For
my
the
problem.
10K.
It's like so now.
I know the guy.
So funny
Hey,
enough, I think
no.
there was a point when somewhere in one of your episodes, I think it was a personal quoting or whatever, where you spoke about the whole and even the conversation we were having earlier about the last podcast and what happened and whatever.
Yeah.
Specifically around GBV, right? And I think South Africa is in a place where, yes, we acknowledge that GBV is an issue in the same way that crime is an issue, whatever, right? But I think fundamentally what you have at the moment is there's women in that scenario
There's a
where
lot, eh?
where
They take it.
and like if I take that podcast we were speaking about earlier, where like, oh, you know, now people are saying, it's my lived experience, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, sure. But there's also women that are using that very thing
Sneaky woman. To make money.
and also take advantage of niggas because they know how topical this like Me Too movement thing is, right? Where you go, sharp, that scenario, give me 10K. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the cops and I'm going to say you raped me. Now, once you do that, who's going to be like, it's going to take me money to go to court and prove my innocence,
But
right?
your name is
And
tarnished.
I'm going to be put in a hole,
Your
money
name-
wise.
your name is
But
tarnished.
even,
Are
but
you
that
willing
entire,
to go to court?
but here's my thing. That's what I'm saying. That entire time, my name is tarnished, right? I lose my job, I lose this, I lose that. If I'm an entrepreneur, I lose clients, whatever the case might be, right? And even even after I prove my innocence, in most cases, society will just go, hey, we're not sure. Even though he won that case, we're not sure. I think I knew Kevin, but we're not sure. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, okay, then that gent, you can imagine where in his mind, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but in his mind, he might then go down the line and hear a story on social media or whatever the case is of a woman pleading that she got beaten up, she got raped, and he's like, I see these ones, they're lying.
Can I ask?
You know what I mean?
Can I ask?
And I'm like, that's a fundamental issue where you've gotten to a place where, like, now these hands that are hustling, a whole bunch of niggas know that they can hustle because their security actually in that hustle is I can go to the cops and claim rape.
You know,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if it was in a corporate environment, what is your security? Your security is your IP, your whatever you're producing to the company.
Sure.
In this particular scenario, your backup as a woman, if you're in a bind, like, okay, sharp, I made 40K, I spent, right?
The cases exposed.
But like, if come the 25th, you're short 10K, you're like, hey, bruh, fuck, I need to hustle. Then you go, all I need to do is fucking say to one nigga, Chief, if you don't give me this 10, I'm accusing you of rape.
You're adding
now, as your gent did, the only option you left with is you call all your boys and you go, hey, gents, who can hustle what? Or you go to the bank or whatever. But in all likelihood, you're going to land up in debt. Because even if your boys help you or whatever, you're going to still feel like you owe them. There's a debt that you owe to them. You know what I mean? There's a debt that I owe.
If I give a certain amount, I want more than this.
But I might not incur interest or whatever. But I owe, like, if you just bail me out, there's a debt that I owe to you. But now I've incurred it because someone decided to lie.
Yeah.
And you know, funny enough, going back to the Mavuso thing, if I link it back, I know we can. Sure. I think the thing that I would appreciate about the Mavuso thing is at least there we've said it outright from the get-go. We've said it's sharp. Hey, listen, it's honest. It's 10K, right? If you said to me 10K up front, Chief, you want to take me home? Sharp. But just know it's 10K. And if you wake up in the morning and you start acting funny, this is what I'm going to do. At least now I know. But so you waking up in the morning the next day and you're like, you owe me 10K, and I'm like, for what? You're basically going on the premise that you know as a woman, the one thing you have over men in this country and the power that you have is the ability to claim rape without evidence. And the reason why I say without evidence is because the reality of it will be, right? And I'm not saying that this happens, but it could. Like, in the same way, anybody can you shoot someone, whatever, I can fake a crime, whatever the case might be. But if you as a woman go, sharp, you raped me, you have to go to the police station, log a case, wada, right? Assuming the cops do the normal procedure, and again, I'm not going to profess to know what the procedures are and whatever the case, but I would assume that, like, they would then need to do a swab to go, right, if you were raped,
the rape kit, but she can go on Tuesday. No, but she can go on Tuesday and say that, because that whole Me Too thing is things that happen
so
in
now,
the 80s.
So now there's an ability for you to go without concrete evidence and accuse me.
Because before we were hoping,
and I need to, you know that, like,
Kevin will help us out.
Yeah.
But now people are pulling things from 10 years ago.
And if you know Kevin is someone of stature somewhere in society or whatever the case might be, you can go, you know what? Not only was I asking for 10K that night, now I'm gonna go, Chief, I went and reported it. If you want this thing squashed,
10K for the next.
And now I found out that you're such and such at such and such company. It's not 10K, it's 20 now. Now you've done. Now you. It's like an investment, right? You're just going, I can 10x my money. Based on zero evidence.
But I want to ask a personal question.
And for me, the thing that irritates me with that is that, like, what about, and again, making reference to that podcast that we were talking about earlier, like, what about the real victims who go through it in real life, who have a real story to tell, versus I needed to hustle this thing.
But here's the problem. In doing so, you diminish the fact that there are so many sisters that are going through GBV and going through this.
Yes.
Because when are you trying to hustle that system?
You're trying to hustle to pay rent.
But Kev, I want to ask a personal question. So you are very senior in the space that you are in. That comes with a lot of power within the industry and obviously influence. So now you still need to maneuver the dating market. You still need to maneuver the relationship. And with what we're speaking about now, obviously the extreme being people that are extorting you, whatever. Debs, are you also quite
Yeah, and I'm not part of
level in a party bubbling under. How are you maneuvering in the space that you are in, being so senior? Because if I'm thinking like this, sorry, and I'm putting myself in your shoes. If I'm this executive in this space and I'm seeing young interns, oh my God, hey, that's my boss, and they throwing themselves at me, I can only resist so much. How are you maneuvering that space so that you are blocking out any potential extremities like sisters that exploit, or the fact that you're using, like, is it Harvey Weinstein to get your way from less powerful systems?
Here's the I take it from a couple of perspectives.
Hey, boss, Kevin unemali, guys.
I don't have money.
Kevin
Don't lie,
angazi ipi kamera ngibukayo. Sizwe ngiyiphi kamera ngibukayo. Yile. Guys, yomjita lo unemali. Boss sisi unemali.
They can't find him, so it's fine.
Ishakanayo social media.
They're not gonna find him.
They're not gonna find me, dog.
Anyway,
back to your point. Back to your
Hola
conversation.
ngama USD. Yeah.
You're a fool.
You're an idiot. So to go back to the and speaking in very practical terms about like even like interns and whatever, I think you have to get to the point where I look at it from a couple of perspectives. Number one, I'm in a place where it's not my company. It's not my name on the door. I don't own the shares in the company. In the place that I work, I don't own the shares in the company, right? So I've also got to be cognizant about, because this is not my father's company, I can't just willy-nilly
Do whatever.
do whatever I want. Like, I'm not Donald Trump here where I can, even if you
Grab
found out
anyone
that,
by anything.
what did he say? You can grab them by the...
By the vagina and I grab her by the pussy.
So
Hey,
I
Donald
can't do
Trump.
that, because at the end of the day, like it's not my name at the door. Number one. And
So
because
you
of
see yourself
that,
as an employee.
yes, I am.
And-
because
and-
at the
and
end of the
that's
day, like, it's not
humbling.
the place where I work. It's an American-based organization. It's owned by Americans.
Hold on,
So
my
even if
USD, bo girls. USD. Keep going.
so, and because of that, the reality is
15,000 USD
I'm
a
an
month.
Shut up, man.
Shut up.
Do the
You wanna
maths.
mute this mic, Caesar?
yeah, please.
My bad.
So because of that, I go like, I've also got to be cognizant of the fact that like, I could be gone any day.
Yeah.
Regardless, whether it's I slept with an intern or whatever, I could be gone any day. Like, fine, whatever, I could be gone any day. So I look at it and I also go like, when you step into that space, you also have to be conscious of like, there's interns that report into you. They might look at you and go, hey, my boss, whatever.
Interns don't report to you.
No, but ultimately they do. So regardless of whether,
Yeah.
even if they don't report directly into me, because the person they report into ultimately has, through the food chain, an organogram works like that.
I was about to
whether
say,
you're
the
at the
person
bottom,
that they report to doesn't report to you.
no, but whether you're at the bottom or not, if you work the food chain up,
Comes to you.
it comes to me. I am.
But when
so
it
the
comes
per-
to him, it's distorted, man. It's not
It's
the
distorted.
truth.
It's
It's,
bro.
uh,
it's
The
distorted.
person the internet reports to their boss, they report to their boss, who reports to their boss, who
Then
reports
it's
to
you.
their boss. Then ultimately it gets to Kevin.
Yeah,
Catman, I high that up, man.
He's that
but
high
at the end
up,
of the
bro.
day, everybody still looks at it and they go, Kevin is the head to cut off.
Oh, get you. Sure.
Yeah. Eish.
Either which way.
Yeah.
So you've also got to operate from the perspective of going like, respect yourself and respect like the fact that like you're in a position where now anybody can use that to cut you down, to use that to better their prospects from a career point of view, whatever the case might be. So, and nobody teaches you that. That's the unfortunate bit. I think the one thing
you learn through getting burnt before you got to where you
well,
are.
it could be a number of things.
I need to use
For me personally, it wasn't learning through getting burnt. It was just learning from seeing other people that had
getting
gone
burnt.
through it and getting burnt from it, and then you go, "Hey, don't do that shit."
Okay.
And and then you very quickly learn why the saying "don't shit where you eat" exists, right?
Yeah.
And you learn that the hard way sometimes.
Debs up?
And for
Oh,
me, it's
sorry.
like, sorry,
No.
so there's that, and I think also like, I think the higher up, the unfortunate bit is like, I wish in my particular ecosystem, I had people that would take the time to mentor me or whatever, because I don't think that happens. I think also like,
There's none of that.
there's none of that, and I know some people, some other black people who are executives or whatever and I've heard it, like, who have experiences where they've got mentors and whatever, but it's not available to everybody. That's the sad
Kev,
part.
yeah,
It's not available
I'm
to
break
everybody.
it down.
Yeah.
And that for me is like, there's people in my particular industry that I look at and I go, that had been there before me, that had been the executives before me, whatever, and they never took the time or bothered.
I'm still mad. I'm still
mentor.
mad about this space because it speaks to black people.
Okay.
And in Amatom Nyama, we have this thing where once you go through, like you're like, fuck it.
You want?
Because of so much,
My stuff is in here.
and I get it because you had to figure it out. Sure. You had to figure it out. So you're like, the next kid must figure it out. Okay, sharp. That's where you may be coming from, But like, once you get to a certain stage in life, bro, you need to help the guy behind you.
Yeah.
I believe so. I live by the whole thing of I have my little candle. I know I have my little candle, and my job with my little candle, if it's still on, Kev, Dibs, I'm trying to everyone that's around me light their candle as best as I can because life is seasons, and there'll come a time when my candle switches off and gets blown out.
Yeah.
And I will hope that the people that I assisted in lighting, one of the hundreds, will then light my candle again.
Yeah.
And that's just the cycle of life. And when I got into the space, bro, dog.
No, in our
Kev,
game,
there was literally just 5 of you guys that said, bro, what do you need? How can we help? I can count
in our game
5.
it doesn't happen. It doesn't
happen.
And I would like to think, and I would assume that it's the same, because I know of a couple of people that are not in my game that have shared a similar experience where they're like, yo, the niggas that have come before us, and when I say the niggas, I mean niggas that have come before us, have not done it.
Bro,
They've not taken the time to go, yo, this is how you maneuver this industry. This is how you maneuver this space. And so you end up in a place where like you're having to figure that shit out for yourself. And so that's why like, and because you have friends and colleagues or whatever, they're in a similar place, right? Like some of the cats that you're referring to, it's like you end up in a place where you go, okay, he figured this one out first, so you learn from him, and I figured this one out, so I share it. But all of us are at the same level trying to figure this shit out, and there's people that we're looking up to and we're like, yo, but
help
fam,
us.
you're there.
I spoke to this guy who works for a big cell phone company, and he's so senior, bro. And I'm like, fam, I'm stuck at this level. All you need to do is send one email. I know for a fact, absolute fact, because I know that the senior guy here speaks to you. If you send an email, everything is open. I'm not even trying for you to give me money. I'm just trying to get in front of people to then talk about an opportunity.
Sure.
Because again, there's budgets, there's this, there's that. It doesn't mean just because you have a meeting, things are open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, we need to do something about Ondaki literally closing doors, because some do close doors behind them, or some just like, I don't know. Meanwhile, they fucking know. And it breaks you because you take 3 years And if Debs had told you it would have taken you 3 months.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kev. I want to ask Debs the same question.
Yeah.
So obviously it's public knowledge that you own Tribal Media House. You founded it, you run it, and then you do a lot of amazing shows on SABC, and Mnet and what. Maybe you have not put yourself out there like that, but within the space that you work in, publication, creating amazing shows that are trending every day, how do you maneuver the fact that you can literally take a 20-year-old girl, unknown to anyone,
Yeah.
200 followers on Instagram, you can literally create a show around her, and next thing she is Numzam. How do you manage that power dynamic, the fact that you are seen in such a high level within the industry, and then having to, hey,
Sure.
I've got a madam. Hey, I'm a family man.
Yeah,
Hey.
John.
Yeah.
Firstly, I'm not at that level.
Of what?
I think to the level that you are explaining, I think I'm not at that level.
Of what? No, I just want to understand what you mean.
No, the level of people, maybe DMs or employees.
No, I'm saying you're not putting yourself out there like that. You on your
How
own
do I
personal-
manage it?
I was talking about.
Okay, cool.
The company
Yeah,
is
get you.
the company is out there. The company is huge. We have to agree and call a spade. Sizwe, how much is the equipment that's shooting us? If you just spitball, just throw it. No, Sizwe, how much is the equipment that just spitball an amount?
Quite a lot.
Just spitball an amount.
A lot.
No, don't look at Debza and then say a
For
lot.
security reasons, a lot.
Oh, mfethu.
For security reasons.
Yeah.
Fam, like, come on, no?
Yeah, please speak to this guy.
Like, what are you
Okay,
talking
for
about?
security reasons, Zige.
Do you know where
The-
do you,
the-
like,
the
do
mere-
you know where you live?
the mere fact that
I know-
guys
I know
can't say
that, like,
the
hey,
amount
bro,
means
come on.
that it's substantial.
Come on.
This is not me doing my little videos
Come on.
on my little phone.
Come on, dog.
But what I'm trying to say,
Come on,
and I'll show you the rest of the studio and the cameras and the other sets. But anyway, what I'm going to is that Tribal is a monster. It's huge. Now you've ventured into the digital space with
Yeah,
Convo
sure.
and the channels that you have under there. Udebza himself has chosen to not put himself out there like that.
Yeah.
Unlike some other black businessmen, which is public drip. It's public.
Sure.
He chose to put himself as the face of drip, and then that came with its own thing and it's public. So we can discuss them a different day. You've chosen to just be you.
Yeah.
The amount of exposure is just based on you. It will get to a point, obviously, because if you guys don't know, Udebza always says he wants to be behind the camera and we force him in front. No, we do, because he's got an amazing mind. So with that being said, that will come with time, its own exposure, and then you will be forced to do. How will you maneuver, like Kevin, the power dynamics that you willed?
Then let's speak about what I'm doing now. I think one, I'm not in spaces where I can be tempted.
What do you mean?
I don't.
You're producing a show of Shaman Testing.
Yeah, but hold on. But I get where he's coming from. But let him finish.
Yeah, like I'm not a going out person. So you rarely see me in different spaces, whatever places people.
But I was talking about the intern at your spans.
Yeah, now I'll get there. So I'm saying there's two ways. The first part is you don't see me in those spaces number one.
Sure.
I'm a workaholic. If I'm not at work, I'm sending watching reality TV, researching this thing, man. Because me, we're not a fly by night company, man. We really want to figure out this thing, man. So one of our things that we speak about, ours as a business, is to mirror society through visual storytelling. Nina Simone did say this, that the purpose of an artist is to speak about the times they live in. So ours is to do that. So that once you watch this content, then you decide what is it. So I'm obsessed with research and development. So that is the thing that I do every single day, man. I have to watch something that speaks to what we're consuming.
The space you're in, yeah.
Number two, linked to what you're saying, interns and all those things. I'm in a space where I'm responsible for people's lives and their families. So that thing doesn't cross my mind. And even if it does, I'm able to reprimand myself very quickly. Because if I do something, I mean, it's done. We employ about 15 people on a day, I think, when we shoot. That's 15 families. So I have to be highly responsible. So I know the position that I'm in, and I need to be very responsible.
As
Because also I think, like, to your point, it's like, you know, and similar in my space is like, I remember when I was an intern in the industry, and like, and granted, I'm not a female, so like, you know, people didn't look at me that way, but like, if it is a woman or whatever, it's like, you're responsible for now taking this person and helping them navigate this media industry that they're coming into, and going, let me impart on you the things that like I wish I knew when
at that
I was an
stage,
intern.
yeah.
Because that's my job. That's my job as in the position that I'm in, to go, the young people that are coming into the industry, knowing what I know, the experiences that I had, the things that I wasn't told, the things that I was told, and the things that I've experienced. My job now is to go, right, for the next generation coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm very conscious of, and I think one of the things you wanted to get into was like, you know, my heritage as a Kenyan and whatever, living in South Africa. I'm also very conscious of the fact that, like, because, and to provide the context, sorry, is I'm a Kenyan living in South Africa with permanent residence, so I've got an ID,
Where
but
were you
I'm
born?
not I was born in Kenya,
Okay. When did you come this side?
2001. So I've been here the better part of my life.
Yeah.
Permanent residence, which means I've got a South African ID, but I don't have citizenship, right?
Okay.
But I'm also very conscious of the fact that even in the space that I'm in, and I've even said this, and this is an open conversation I've had with my boss, to say, but I'm also very conscious of the fact that, like, I am grateful for the role that I'm in and the position that I'm in as a senior exec in my company. But I cannot ignore the reality of the fact that I live in a country where I've also got to be cognizant that there are South Africans who need to come up. And I've said to him that, like, for me, my succession plan is that a South African should take over my role because it's only right.
Yeah.
Depends.
And my job is to ensure I equip that person, whoever that person might be, with the skills, the knowledge, and the whatever, so that they don't have to deal with the bullshit that I dealt with, learn the hard way, all of that, but they can come into a place where they're like, yo, all right, cool, Kevin gave me this knowledge. This is how I want to take it and go forward. So when you said, that's questionable, I get it, but that's my perspective on it. To go, like, even if I moved up a role or whatever, for me, I'm still conscious of that. It's like, I cannot forget that, yes, South Africa has given me opportunity. It's fantastic, great. But I've also got to be conscious about the fact that, like, the people that I've got to bring up, the black people that I've got to bring up, have to be South African, because I'm living in the, not necessarily to say I'm living in the space, i.e. like I don't feel like this is home. I do, like, I consider this home as much as I consider Kenya home. I've been here most of my life, right?
Than you've ever been in Kenya.
And so, you know, if we get into the conversation about like, even if you were to get into that
but
conversation,
I want to get into it.
But I'm also conscious of the fact that, like, the reality of it is that, like, the majority of the black people I'm surrounded with are South African.
Yeah.
Those are the people I've become friends with. Those are the people that I feel need the opportunity.
But hear me out, Kev.
And it just so happens that it was a Kenyan that was given the door.
No, but
I need to open the door behind me for South Africans to get.
I want you to still man this. I'm trying to say, Guti, there's going to be a Zimbabwean boy that's watching this show. There's going to be a boy from Zambia, a boy from Malawi, and you speak very passionately about handing the baton over to a South African, which is great. Sure, I'm South African, so we're like, woo, you sure South Africa's winning? But what I'm trying to say is that when you speak to that boy who's an intern or that lady who's an intern, you know, I can you just remove your workspace for a second? I want you just to talk about you in 2021 coming to South Africa, you know, because you are very aware.
Yeah.
And then your journey, because I was incredibly xenophobic growing up. And the reason why I was incredibly xenophobic because I didn't know any better. So when you ever any phobic of anything, it speaks to ignorance more than anything. More than the hate, and just speaks that you just don't know anything. You're a dumb motherfucker.
Sure.
So I want you to speak about the journey, and then I want you to break it down so that whoever is watching this, it's almost like it gives them a lifeline, you know, because you are the exception to the rule. And how can they become the rule?
So I'm probably not the exception to the rule. I think there's a lot of people like me who've had a similar-ish story.
There's two big boys.
No. I'm not talking specifically in my space. I'm talking about like across the board.
Okay, got you.
Bankers, in the food space, whatever space, whatever the category is. So I'll tell you my experience. It's like, so the reason I came to South Africa.
And that guy's
because
meant to be here, by the way. That other guy.
Yeah. My mom came here because she was working for a global company, an American company, that she got the opportunity to transfer.
Your mom
to
is
South
amazing,
Africa.
by the way. I can't believe she gave birth to such a useless fucking son. But it happens.
I love you, Mom.
Love you too, Ma.
So she got the opportunity and an offer to transfer to South Africa, and she took it. And so, you know, she took her children with, because at that point we were like high school. I've got a younger sister. She was in primary school at the time. I'm the oldest, yeah. And we came to South Africa, and the first couple of years, funny enough, you know, when we landed, we lived in Kempton Park, and that was weird because like Kempton Park back then was like super Afrikaner, and so like then the first school she took me to was Sapir van Reineveld, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Grade,
No sip here.
what are you, grade 10, grade 9?
Grade
9.
No, so I actually got pushed back to grade 8. I was supposed to have gone to grade 10, but they pushed me back. And obviously, like, you know, it goes to like the, you know,
Standards
they benchmark
of-
your
Based on
what is
nothing.
it, NQF level or whatever. And anyway, so I got pushed back. Now I'm in the school,
Look at
and
how
I'm
that
like,
turned
yo,
out.
that's weird. And
No, but
there's all
Kev,
this-
hold on to that point. Hold on to that point.
Sure.
And I want you, in everything that you're speaking to that child.
Yeah,
Because
no, I get you.
there's that boy who was held back, and they think they dumb and they losers,
Yeah.
and they what. And I'm
No,
saying,
so
look at
let
where
me.
you
So I
are.
hear you.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I didn't understand why I was held back. All I knew was that, like, because obviously my mom was the one having the conversation with the school and whatever.
So you are meant,
And then I
you're
landed.
grade 9, meant to go to grade 10,
And then I got pushed back grade 8, and then
yeah.
I must go grade 9 after that, right? So, anyway, so that happens. In a weird kind of way, then I ended up making friends with this. I remember, like, I remember this like it was yesterday. I made friends with this white dude. I forget his name, and I hope he's still alive. But anyway,
Jesus
and
Christ,
him and
then
I,
he- then he wasn't
and him
that
and I
important.
only made friends only because I was a hip hop fan and he was a hip hop fan, and we both liked Eminem.
Okay.
Anyway, so-
yourself in the music.
And that was when Eminem was like, coming
that was
up.
8 Mile.
So made friends with him or whatever. Bloody blah. Ended up then eventually my mom realized that this thing's not working. We moved to Edenvale. It's a bit more less
It's more mixed.
yeah, it's more mixed.
Yeah.
And it's less like, because the in the first 2 months that we were in South Africa, and again, these are some of the things I just remember like as if they happened yesterday. We're living in Kempton Park, and the cops came in at like 1 o'clock in the morning, raided our house, right? And I think that night must have been like, we're gonna look for foreigners and just like fucking deport or some shit. And all I remember was my sister was still a baby at that point. Cops coming in, guns and everything, middle of the night, no lights are on. Hustling my mom for where your passports, where your permits, where your this, where your that. And because that was my first experience with the South African police, I've never liked the South African police ever since then. I have, to this day, and I think because that was my very first experience, I have a fundamental like negative experience with the SAPS to this day. Like regardless, like even when I get stopped in a traffic or whatever, and not because I'm doing anything, there's a negative view that I have with them, because the experiences that I had with them a lot of the time initially were based on even to the point where like I would be walking from school, so Pierre and Renevelt walking home, I'm even walking with a white boy and they'd stop me, and I used to think that like at some point, and I think sometimes it happens because like I think South African cops can tell when you're a foreigner. Well, I don't know if they can. But like I have a
were
perception.
stopped as well, and
No. But I have
part
this
of me-
perception because like every time I got stopped, you would be like, "Where are you from?" And funny enough, one of the companies creative agencies that I've worked with had done this campaign about like, specifically around when South African cops want to find out if you're South African, they ask you what the name of your elbow is in vernac. And I
in
didn't
Zulu
know.
specifically.
Yeah, and I didn't
Not
know.
in vernac, because they don't ask you in Xitsonga.
Yeah,
What is this
so-
in Xitsonga? They don't ask you in Tswana.
And
so they
and
ask
that
you,
was the thing, right? And like my experience initially was they would stop and that's why I say like I thought they would see me and be like, "Hey, this one is not South African." And the first thing they would ask me is, "What's your elbow in Zulu?" No, they don't know. And I'll be like, "I don't know." And it would be this constant thing of trying to prove that like I belong here because I've got a permit, because I've got this, because I've got that. Every time I leave this country to travel, like my experience of traveling when I leave this country to this day is when I approach the desk at the border gate, it's regardless of how many papers I show, my permanent residency
visa,
permit,
your what.
my fucking ID, whatever. It's, are you sure this is original? Are you sure this is what? And I'm like, fam, what do you mean? And so to this, like, I have that shaped my experience. And I think if we get into the conversation around like xenophobia or whatever, I still remember like when I was still back on social media, I'd done this one post when the first set of xenophobic attacks happened. I think, when was it? 2008? No?
Around about there.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Whatever it was. When it became like a big thing. When the guy from Mozambique,
Burnt.
I think, got burnt or whatever. And I did a post back then, and I did it on the basis of those experiences. The experience of, there was a concert back in the city I went to the one time. I was dating a South African girl. We were standing watching the concert. I was standing behind her holding her. And I remember when you got home, she said, out of nowhere, no prompt, no nothing, she was like, yo, if only you understood some of the things. They were like, yeah, the guys that were standing in front of us, if you remember, whatever, were going, look at this girl dating a queer or whatever. I'm like, from where, dog? I'm not disturbing your peace. Like, we're watching a show, I'm holding my girl, you're busy watching it also. At some point, I don't even know how we got to interact with those niggas at that point. And I remember making a post about it and going, like, it's so ignorant that, like, people would just be like, just because I don't understand your language, whatever the case might be, like, you're gonna go, you are the enemy. You know what I mean? And so, and not to say that, like, oh, my experience of xenophobia has been so extreme. I think there's people who have had more extreme experiences. But I know in my very limited spaces that I know it exists.
Can I tell you what's fucked up about that?
To this day.
Can I tell you what's fucked up about that? I'm the guy in front of you guys saying that.
So
Like-
and I can tell you why. Like to the point where, so if you know me and like you know me, I wear a Kenyan, like this is a Kenyan flag bracelet.
Yeah.
If I'm so conscious of the fact that I wear it now, that if I'm going through a roadblock or whatever, or there's cops or whatever, I make an intention of not showing
Showing
it,
it.
because I know it's going to attract the wrong kind of attention.
Yes, sir.
And the fact that I'm still living with that mindset at this point, there's a ton of Kenyan homies that I know that live in South Africa at this point. And of the ones that I know, none of them wear it. And they've all said they don't wear it because they're like, we don't like the attention it attracts. I've just gotten to the point where I go, you know what? Fuck you. And the mentality I've taken to the SAPS is to go, if I'm not committing a crime, what are you doing? I'm good.
Yeah.
If you want to give me shit, I'll give you shit back. Like, if you give me lip, I'll give you lip back. Cool.
Yes, as you guys gave us shit back in the day.
But like, I'm going like, what have I done to you to make you feel like, so, because this argument about like, because a lot of it devolves into like the,
do
and
not
you know,
at a level resent, like you spoke about the level of resentment towards some SAPS or like the idea of, is there no such resentment to Black South Africans?
No.
Because I think, Guti,
No.
a lot of us, we to this day are incredibly xenophobic.
No. So I haven't experienced it from, you know, outside of that scenario that I described, you know, and those are niggas that I didn't know. But a lot of my friends at the moment are Black South Africans. So I can't say that. I can't say that like, and I know where it comes from. I know it comes from, and I'll use SAPS as a generalization for SAPS, JMPD, EMPD, whatever,
Yeah.
cops in general,
Yeah.
right? But I can't say that I experience that of other South Africans unless, and especially the people that get to know me
In your circle.
in my circles.
Besides
right?
me.
He's incredibly xenophobic. But as we stand right now,
Yeah.
90%, well, actually, 90% of my friends are South African.
Yeah.
Then there's the other 10% of guys that I know who are from Kenya or Uganda or whatever that we've gotten to know from our communities that live here or whatever the case might be, right? But like, the majority of my friends are South African, and the majority of those South Africans are Black South African. And I don't experience that from them, but I experience it from, in a weird way, like the people who are in spaces of authority, Home Affairs, SAPS,
Therefore you pay gang tax.
you know, wherever. Those spaces where you have to go and get
true.
my license disc renewed, you know.
Hey, it's a problem.
Random
Those
shit
ones,
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're just like, chief, it's that thing of like, fam, if you're just a security guard, it's not that serious.
No, it's well.
This is not even your property. It's
want
not that serious.
I want to.
So, but that's why I go like, and for me, it pains me around the, like, where to position myself in this whole thing. Like, I'm just going like, I know xenophobia exists, but I also know that like I've been privileged enough to not have experienced the worst part of it, i.e., being burnt like the Mozambican guy was done,
Or
like
being
that.
beaten.
That was horrible. Or being beaten, or whatever the case is, right? But I can also understand that it exists,
Yeah.
and it does.
I want to. This is my last point before we wrap, guys.
Okay.
You know, there's moments in your life that shape you,
Okay.
and it's like at that point, there's a seed being planted. And the story that you told me now about the cops in Kempton Park and that whole dynamic speaks to Kevin is the most stoic person I know. Like, he is fucking stoic. Like, when you talk about that, because offline we've spoken about deep shit that Kevin's experienced, but he's got a way to compartmentalize things, and it's what you read about in books. You know, that's just his personality. But in telling the story, it unpacks a certain layer of Ukev that I was like, oh shit. Yeah. And we speak about this in every single episode. Kev, I want you to unpack your version of masculinity and how you see it. I know your journey. I know things that you have and what. Please just unpack it to us, and then now so interrogate us again. My gauge is changing.
So here's
so soft.
Cool. And it's funny because you and I had this conversation the other day, and it's specific to I mean, everybody that's watching this podcast will know Penson is very polarizing.
I'm not polarizing. I'm not polarizing.
Anyway.
How am I polarizing? Polarizing to what?
It's fine, dog. Just relax.
You must go back to your own country.
So let me take it there, and I'm not a fuck. I hate that you did this. Fuck you.
What did I do? Ask you a question.
My definition of masculinity is kind of like and it sounds stereotypical, but like it is what it is. I did not have the best upbringing / experience with a father figure in my life. And so my parenting experience is predominantly my mom. Call me a mama's boy if you want. I don't give a shit. Man.
No, but I'm just saying what you were taught how to pee standing up from someone who pees sitting down.
Yeah.
Nigga, that means absolutely nothing.
No, but you must understand, Uguti. There's a fish and there's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
But hold on.
Fish has never been.
No. I think let Kev finish.
Yeah, let me finish.
Yeah, let's finish. Because there are a lot of niggas who were taught out.
There were a lot of
niggas who were taught how to fucking pee who are not progressing society.
No, but I'm saying that's the challenge.
This is how he gets polarizing.
No. What I'm saying is some of the statements, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I know you, man. You and I can have banter. It's
I
fine.
don't know you.
Some of the statements
I don't know you,
some
man.
of the statements you make, but you make it seem like it's an absolute. And some of the statements we make,
How?
No, there are many niggas who are taught by a nigga how to pee.
I need to pee.
Here's what I'm saying to you.
I need to go pee now.
Those niggas are not progressing society. So that statement is not absolute truth.
True.
That's what I just wanted to make that point.
But anyway,
guys, we're gonna take away from Kevin. Let Kevin
and then we're gonna debate.
Nigga.
So yeah.
Smoking dick this one.
No, but the statistics are there. A household with a man and a woman, or a household with just a father,
And then
is more progressive than one with a mother.
you are talking out of your butthole.
It's a statistical fact.
Thank you, Kevin.
I grew up with a single mother. I get Kevin.
Wait.
When you grew up with
You can beat up most niggas.
What does Eminem say? What does Eminem say? This is he grew up in the mom and the dad. That's you. Eminem raps about you in that final verse. You are the guys that he raps about. Everybody from the 313.
Like the thing I told you.
you.
You know that if you
And the mom and dad have a really good marriage. Me and Kevin, we grew up in rough.
we carry on.
We grew up rough. You know, our mamas did everything.
If we carry on.
Mama, help me, mama. Mama.
Look. Let me land.
What a toxic masculinity.
So a lot of my upbringing was driven by my mom. So I guess my definition of masculinity is also, let me put it this way. I have all the respect for women because that's what I've been brought up
That's
with.
all you know.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
My most immediate sibling is my sister, who I love to bits, who I also had to kind of like raise when my mom had to go back to Kenya and whatever the case is, and left just the two of us here and whatever.
Amazing sister.
That's why I find it
and
weird.
your sister speaks so highly of you,
I find
which
it
I don't
weird.
understand why.
What's that one?
No, he's got an amazing family.
Can I finish?
And they speak
Can
so
I
highly of him.
finish?
And
I
I'm
finish?
like, you know that meme where there's that lady that's calculating like the maths, and I'm like, Mama, I hear you. Sis,
Can
ngiyakuzwa,
Kev finish his story?
but I know Kevin and the maths
Can
is not
Kev finish
mathsing.
his
My
story?
bad, my bad. Sorry, Kev.
This
Sorry,
nigga
sorry, okay, sorry,
with your
my bad.
curly hair.
Yo, that one was deep. Anyway, so I look at
Wenja.
I look at it from the perspective.
Mana. Ima say warrior.
It's really hopping. Oh my God.
No, ngiyakholisa.
Niggas,
Ayimi Nairobi.
you know.
Ayimi Nairobi. Ngifuna uqala mathi, why do you say like the way you said
that
it?
your triggers are so easy.
So easy.
I just said one thing.
Curly hair.
Nairobi. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Nigga, I was just.
Your
triggers are so easy,
There's three
Penson.
guns in this room.
This is why.
There's three guns in this room.
3 guns.
There's three guns in this room.
Okay. There's the
And
main one and then the other ones.
There's three guns.
Okay. There's
And
the,
I'm carrying one up. So what do you mean by the
Why are
curly
you,
hair?
why are you threatening the homie?
I'm threatening the homie because I know that there's three guns in this room.
Why are you threatening the
I'm threatening the homie because I know the homie and there's three guns right now at this table. So I'm saying I'm carrying one up.
Okay.
So say something about my curly hair.
Let's de-escalate. Why why did you have to point that out?
I want to know what he's backing.
Let me not be a masculine man. I'm so sorry.
A toxic. Say a toxic.
Let me not be a toxic masculine man. Kev, I'm Fana Penson. I'm so sorry. Please
You're not sorry
forgive
at
me.
all.
No.
I'm sorry for saying.
I'm
that you have
sorry
curly hair
for
as a
saying
black
that
man.
you've got curly hair and you're a black man.
That's not what you meant. That's not what you meant when you said it. I withdraw this truth. I withdraw this truth. Kevin, please carry on. This
the fact that you have
toxic.
curly hair.
How he said it says on how he's.
Is that like a trigger for you?
Did you hear how he said it?
Does that make you feel like you're not black enough?
Oh!
I'm asking a question. Are you triggered by the fact that he said that you got curly hair because you feel like makes you not black enough? No, I'm asking a question. Dog.
Because you know exactly what he was trying to say.
What was he trying to say? What was he trying to say?
I'm so
No, but that's what I'm trying to piece together. No, don't come back.
No,
hold on.
I didn't pee. I'm gonna pee my pants. You want me to pee my pants? You guys carry on talking about how
You can't
African
pee.
you are.
You can't pee, you masculine man.
I can't pee.
You can't go pee. You can't pee
It's
yourself.
a piece like that. Talk about Africa. Oh, bomb.
You guys an idiot, sure.
I think Penson has some issues around his curly hair and his black
Sure.
and his definition of black. But anyway, and funny enough, this conversation came up at church the other day around this definition of masculinity and what it's meant to be. And like I go, outside of the need to, a couple of things, protect, right? My view of protection for my family is on the basis of, yes, if I look at the instance where the cops came in when we were in Kempton Park and whatever, I felt disempowered at that point. And I'm like, I wanted to protect my family.
Sure.
And now I'm at a point where I'm going, I am more able to protect my family
Okay.
and myself
Sure.
and my sister. Then there's the ability to provide, like, but also that for me is like kept on like, okay, but what am I providing for? And hence our conversation earlier about like, yeah, I only want to date guys who are earning 15K plus or whatever.
Sure.
But for me, I'm like, provision also comes in my particular perspective around what are we doing together? If we're building something together,
Yeah.
as opposed to just I'm just providing for you so that you can go do your nails, hair, whatever. But we're not building something.
Yeah, no.
Then I'm like, all right,
I just
I'm
want to
using
fill him
you.
in quickly.
You're just
It's-
going to
it's
get
protect and provide. Those are the 2 points that he's raised with what you asked. Now we're at the
protect and provide.
at the provide right now.
No ngiyamazi mesh kumanje.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, so outside of those things, it's like, what else is there?
For a nigga, for a man, you want the. Can we say the typical route?
Yeah,
Like
no, I get it. I get it. I
generic
read the
route
typical.
of what, like, you know, our parents, grandparents,
Yeah.
and all of that. But where there's a difference is with the provision. It's almost like with the protect, you're like, I'm 100%, I'm fine. But the provision, we need to find a balance of.
What do you mean 100% you're fine?
What I referenced was is the as if we define masculinity, there's certain pillars that come with it, right? Well,
way you
certainly
define.
the way I define it. There's the pillar on protection, i.e.,
smart.
protecting my family, protecting the people that I love and care for, right? And so therefore, if I look at it from the experiences that I had before, I go, when the cops came in, I wish I could have protected my family.
Yeah.
But I was too small. I was a boy then, right?
And you were scared.
Now, and I was scared because I was like, fuck, I'm in this different
guys
country.
with guns with
And
what's
there's guys with guns, it's dark. I
If
don't
there
know
was
what's
a
happening.
13-year-old, you would have folded him.
Yeah.
But
But
now-
like now we're like now I'm in a place where I go, I will protect my family because I'm more educated. I've taken the time to understand the law,
And you better
whatever the
equipped.
case is, and so I can have a conversation with the
And
cop
you-
and go,
and-
yeah, but chief,
and
based
wo-
on
and worst
X,
case,
Y, and Z,
And worst case scenario, you better equipped.
yes.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then the conversation we're getting to was provision. Then I go, for me, I provide for my family. And when I say my family, I mean my sister, my brother, my mom, right? And you could then extend that, you know, I'm not married at the moment, but when and if I do, there's a requirement for me to do that. And then I kind of shifted it slowly to but there's a very big difference in provision for, we're not building something together versus you're just wanting me to provide. Hence, I kind of
So
linked
there's
it back
the
to the
other
initial
element, yeah.
conversation around you must earn 150K. And I'm like, so that what? Because for me, that is
Yeah.
linked to provision. I'm going, yes, as a man, I should provide. But I'm going to provide for something that I feel is, for lack of a better word, substantial to me, that has meaning to me, that has something that shows me we're driving towards something, right? If it's just like a flimsy, or, you know, I'm just providing drinks for tonight before we shop, but it's limited to that. But if you're gonna expect me to go every single month, I must send you 10K. So that what? What are we doing here?
I had a
Versus if my mom was to phone me right now and say, Kevin, I need 10K, regardless of whether I have it or not, I'm gonna send it because I'm gonna go, if she needs it because of X, Y, and Z, and she's calling me
your mom
because I'm
wouldn't
the
just call
only
you,
one.
but
No,
you-
no, yes,
you
I
know
know,
your
but I'm
moms.
just
That's
saying,
extreme,
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
I mean,
I'm used to using that example, but like, I know that there's a reason why. I know that I'm her last resort.
yeah.
But when you phone me and you go, hey, I need to do my nails tomorrow. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is,
And that's very loose. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's not
But
very
you
loose.
get kind of like
I
I'm
get
very-
you. I had I don't want to call it a debate or argument with this one sister, and there's this whole narrative where she was like, "But I'm the table, Penson. I'm the table."
Hey,
No,
she's
fuck
not-
that. Fuck that. No.
Very, very educated, very,
table.
you know, in the space.
Social media speaking
And
right there.
Social media speaking. And I was like, so you want a partner that you are the... He's like, yeah. I was like, please define the word partner when you talk about...
No, but also define the word when you say you are the table. What do you mean?
What do you
You're
mean
the
by that?
table. I.e., you're where I eat from. Are
Okay.
you not like? Because for
So-
me, like if you go to the table, let's
set.
break it down, right?
It looks beautiful.
Let's
The
break it
food
down.
is there, nigga.
There's food there. I'm eating there.
Yeah.
Right? So are you the
Veg.
table in the sense of I'm just eating there?
Yeah.
Because I don't need to provide to eat there.
Did you go buy the veggies?
You know, I'm just eating there. So if we sexualize it, I'm just chowing there.
Yeah.
You're the table. I'm just chowing there. I don't need to do anything. I'm just chowing.
But my
But
education...
are you the table in the sense of you're you're making a table for what? So when you say you're the
table,
like you're the table. Unpack what the fucking table is.
Yeah.
What are you the table for? Because for me, I'm going. If you're the table, let's take it down to where we're sitting.
The core fundies.
If when I sit at the table, I eat. Therefore, if I'm chowing you, yeah, sure, you are the table.
Yeah,
I
okay,
chowed
sure.
you. Done.
I'm done.
You said you're the table and I chowed you.
Yeah.
We're finished.
Yeah. So I was trying to educate the sister in the sense of, in relationships, when you say partnership, and in business, when you say partnership, what are you talking about? So in business, when you say partnership, you're talking about your equal.
Yeah.
People, and if I'm giving the majority or giving 90%, and this person's giving 10% and nothing else, are we truly partners? So the way that I view relationship is obviously different to that because I'm toxic masculinity. But in a sense, I see myself as the head and she's the deputy. Nah?
Oh, cool.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
But the deputy still fucking does the work.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's no free ride here. There's no freebies. If I'm the president and you're the vice president, you need to work. You can't be Kamala Harris next. You need to
for me,
fucking
it's like, and for me, it's like, you know, I get there's also men who go, they get to a certain level and you earn a certain amount and you go, you know what, baby, you don't need to work anymore. And if you as a man have decided to make that call for whatever your reasons are, sharp. But understand what comes with making that call, because once you put your wife in that position, you as a man are absorbing also a bunch of like stuff to go, I am now going to take the responsibility. I can't now use but you know, when we're fighting, you can't go, but you don't make any money because you decided to make that call, right? So you can't use that argument down the line. But what I'm saying
your
is,
family as a
again,
company, and therefore
again,
you're allocating budgets
but
accordingly.
also understand that, like, I think, you know, and the funny thing is, like, when we use this language, when people want to throw around, oh, lived experience, cool, sharp, lived experience. My lived experience is I had a mother who worked her ass off. Whether she wanted to or not, she worked her ass off. I get my work ethic from my mother. That's where I get it from. I don't get it from I get it from my mother. My mother's work ethic is what drives me, right? And so I also view it in the perspective of, yeah, sure, to go back to the pillars, provision. But then I'd also argue that, like, I want a woman who's gonna work, and not work like you're grinding, like, but I mean, like, put in the work to contribute
again,
to this thing
even
that
if
we're
you're
building.
financially at the point where she doesn't have to work, she still has to work for the household.
Yes.
So again, she's the
Either way.
executive.
Either way.
Because that's what I'm trying to say. Guti, Mina, if I was
Yeah. So when I say that, like, I can't. Yes, down the line, I can't throw the argument to you to say, yeah, but you don't work, because that would be disingenuous, right? Because if she's working to ensure that the household is set up, whatever the case is, she's working. So if you as a man then go and throw, but I'm the one who makes all the money, you would be disingenuous at that point, right? But what I'm saying is that, like, this thing of, like, I slept with you, so therefore you did your work. Nah, come on, man.
And where do you differ? Because everything is correct here.
I don't differ anyway.
Oh, I thought you had something that.
No,
where
I
you
work on
differ.
the same pillars.
Oh,
It was the curly hair thing.
Is what? What is it?
The curly hair thing.
No, fuck you guys. Actually, fuck both of you guys. Fuck you guys. Fuck your cap.
How he
fuck your
defines-
ball spot.
how he
Fuck your
defines-
fucking cut up beard. That's
How
not
he
connected.
defines his blackness
Fuck your fucking
through his
dumbass
curly
glasses.
hair.
Fuck both of you guys.
now my beard is not connected. Now my beard is not connected. You and I were fine for some years. Now my beard is not.
We're fine for shit. It's a beef. He moved to Park when you puff daddy, when you puff daddy.
Puffy,
When no
Diddy,
pee.
you're gonna call me Diddy. Why are you calling me
he
Diddy,
moved to
dog?
Park.
Who's did it?
I'm not me.
Oh shit!
When
How
no-
you gonna
when-
give me the Diddy label,
when
bro?
no
No,
pee,
you
when
can't
no
give me
pee,
the
bro.
Diddy label, bro.
When no pee,
No, you can't give me the
Doesn't
Diddy
matter.
label.
I'm dead.
That I'm in the West Coast, nigga. Yeah. I'm going to have that. Because there's a let me take
Fuck
this
bad.
glasses.
Or are
Take
you
off
on
these
your
glasses.
fuck bad boy fucking record label and your
Fuck
motherfucking
Tribal
group?
as a record label and as a crew. And if you down with Tribal Media House, then
Fuck you too. Wow.
guys, we need to wrap up. Can't do me a favor. Okay, so I just want closing.
Yeah.
Some closing from you, Tebza. Whether you speak about the dynamics about women,
Sure.
and the sneakiness.
Yeah.
Whether you speak about the position of power, but just your feeling and closing on this conversation.
Can I go to the last point that you're speaking about, the umjita? What is the purpose of a man, or what he brings, and all those things, masculinity and all those things. I think as umjita, you need to be of value. I think it starts there in Chaka, you know. I think one of the mistakes we make is to have the idea of a black and white in 2024.
Do you remember that episode where we spoke about men just, no matter how small it is, just keep going?
Because that's what you're built for.
Hey,
Like for me,
yeah,
and that's my thing. It's like I think as niggas, like we've lost, and the weird part is like, and I, because it happens at work, and sorry, I know we need to land this.
Yeah, no,
point,
for
but,
sure.
like,
I'll come after.
it happens at work where I think post 2020 we've become super sensitive, and granted,
Are you
in
saying
some
men or
scenarios-
generally? Sorry to cut you.
Generally.
Okay, cool.
And to that point, I get, because I know there's a bunch of my niggas, and you know this, because also you advocate for this a lot about, you know, the high suicide rates amongst men and whatever the case is. And a lot of that is also,
4 out of every 5.
and a lot
our
of that is
brothers.
also driven by the need for us as men to go, you just need to push,
You have no choice.
regardless of where you are, right? And I can relate to that because, like, regardless of where I am, regardless of how shit I feel, regardless of how
He's a
down I
stoic.
feel,
That's
regardless
a stoic
of
thinking.
Yeah,
regardless of
out
whatever.
of every nigga that I know a lot of niggas.
Yeah, that's stoic.
I know you, I know my
Yeah,
brother,
for sure.
I know Sizwe. Out of all the niggas that I know,
Yeah.
Kevin is the most. Kevin is about.
Yeah, I know for sure.
I will do what I need to do,
Because it needs to be done.
regardless
Because the
of
reality,
the rain.
because let me
or
tell
the
you,
season,
all the
for me,
emotions.
and
for
he
me,
gets
that's
it.
my mindset.
done.
My mindset is driven by, regardless of how down I'm feeling, regardless of how shit I'm feeling, regardless of how I wish I could buy myself X, Y, and Z, whatever is. If there's people who are dependent on me, I've got to do what I got to do. I have got no time for, you know, you must feel down, whatever. No, I'm like, yo, I'm from the school of harden the fuck up and move on.
Yeah.
Now, in today's society, a lot of people will go, that's toxic, or that's whatever. You need to, you know, have this, and this. And that's cool. I get it. And I'm not knocking the people that will be from that school or whatever the case is. But, like, unfortunately, I don't have the time for that shit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, come month end or whatever the case might be, shit's got to happen.
I'm with you.
And if shit doesn't happen,
there's people-
it's on
and
me.
there's people that
and
looking
I've
up.
just got to go. And I've just got to go. And you can argue. We can have
there.
the conversation back and forth about, like, but Kevin, maybe you shouldn't, whatever. That's cool. I don't care. That's fine. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Thank you for believing that that's the right thing for me. Thank you for caring about my well-being and my mental health and whatever the case is. But I'm good. I just got to go. I've got to go.
What I need to do.
I've got to go, and I've got to do what I need to do. And I don't think there's enough niggas that are at that place. And for whatever reason, like, I'm just like, yo,
Yeah. No, Kevin's
we don't
my
have
nigga.
that time, dog.
Kevin's my nigga, man.
We don't have time for
I'm telling you, knowing you, Tebza, and knowing you, Kev. I've never said this. If I'm lying, you guys can check all the records.
Sure.
I've never said. If you linked up with Kevin within the industry,
Yeah. Done.
it's game over. Because you guys are, I think, the work ethic and the fact that you guys are both like losers and nerds.
I'm not sure about nerd, but loser, yeah, I'm there.
Is that Caesar? Was I meant to say that?
Losers, yeah, I'm a loser, man. Yeah.
You can call me a loser, you can call me whatever. dog.
If you guys linked,
Yeah.
it's Zuckerberg meets Baloe Amazon.
Jeff.
Jeff.
It's over.
I'm with you.
Because of the commonalities, work ethic, It's stoicism. It's it's getting shit done. Let me actually put it like
Eish,
that.
mfethu.
It's just getting shit done.
You know, mfethu, mawuringa so.
Because you guys can cry in the shower, but the moment you get out of the shower,
It's done.
it's getting shit
Yeah,
done.
you can't stay in pain for too long. That's part of stoicism.
Facts.
But the
It
worst
says
thing,
that
the thing is that I pick up
That's
from
a
you,
fact.
and I pick up the most from Kevin,
Yeah.
is that even if he's going through pain, forget about staying in pain.
Sure.
He is in the trenches.
Yeah.
I know what is happening in his life personally,
Yeah.
and it's so much pain.
Yeah.
But he gets it done. Whatever needs to get done, he'll get it done.
You gotta go.
Parting short, yeah.
Me, I'll be crying at home, bro. Me, I'll be in my bed watching.
Two things. I want to speak
Yes.
up. I want to speak about this word, and then the just the idea that when men are losing it.
Sure, yeah.
I think one of the issues that Amajit are facing is I don't understand a man who wants to trend and be part of this lifestyle and show that he has things. A man, Fed, just needs to be. Your purpose here, Fed, is just to. You're a dog, man.
How?
I'm telling you, Umchita is just a dog, man. You just here
Is this your wrap
to
up?
work. Yeah, it is. It is.
You calling
I'm
us
telling you know what's another thing?
dog like how?
Let me tell you. You know what's another issue is that Amachita, one of the issues that we're facing is that men want to have so many definitions about why they exist. You don't have so many things. You want to put in soft life. I want to work hard. No, man, don't go too far. Just have one or two, and that is it. You're a dog. Your purpose is to make sure that you work for your family. That is your purpose. That's why
You
you're
have a
here.
family?
No, every man has.
Oh,
Whether
like
it
must
says
have-
that. I'm
regardless of
not
whoever it
speaking
is.
about marriage.
Whoever,
No.
yeah.
Whether
Whoever
it's your
it is.
lady,
Got
it's
you.
your sex. But your purpose is to give value to someone else. That's why you exist as a nigga. Not for you. So I can't understand men want to go out.
They
they
can't do the
drink
nails.
and-
They can't do the nails.
No, but I know you because I can't say that
have
about
an
you
issue
because
with
I.
that.
No. We'll go. But wait. No, I don't have an issue because I know what you bring. So for me, now, those things don't mean much.
And the baby blue?
Those baby blues nice. So for me, in fact, it's that.
Curly hair, my dog.
Shit, man. Kev, what's going
No,
on
carry
with you
on.
now? You're gonna make us pay when you cut this campus.
finish,
Penson's gonna kill us.
Land. Sorry.
Man, your company's gonna be doing-
Sorry.
I've been looking for a word that defines what a man should be. I've been looking for it the longest of time. I've known it in the Vernac word, but I don't know of it in the English.
Please say
word.
it in Vernac.
The Queen's language.
Krach.
Oh, that's Afrikaans.
Yeah, I get it. Totital. You know when you grow up in the world, like, oh, this is Totital, but obviously it is Afrikaans.
Yeah.
But that's what I've taken. I would just say, krach. Magunyiwa, I would take
There's
There's that thing, Baba. So I've been looking for this word. So I'm watching this. My
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Umchita
Aye.
kumele ebe nekrach.
there's no conversation
That
about that.
penis strength.
Yeah.
Because ikrach speaks to ikrach.
Angazodlala.
If you are 50 kg in Danga
Yeah.
and you are this short,
Yeah.
but you've got that penis strength,
Thank you.
and there comes Kumulu Granite,
Yeah.
M10 Gladiators, and he comes there, you say, Fusek Msunako.
Yeah. Ngekrach, boy.
Ngekrach, boy.
Even if you might not even lift like him, but nekrach.
Oh, I'm trying to say,
Yeah, there's it must have cracked. So I've been looking for this word for the longest of time. So I mean, my Instagram is the best app for me when it comes to what I consume. There's a lot of stoicism stuff that's there.
my algorithm on Instagram, my algorithm
Top tier,
is top tier.
same.
I said this to one of the ladies and we were doing the one channel.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you see it on your... I was like, my Instagram algorithm is
My one is the
is
best.
anointed.
Yeah.
I say,
Hold on. I want you to land this point.
my bad.
I've been looking for the word. I've been looking from the in English perspective. The word is grit.
Grit.
Grit. Every nigga needs to be this: guts, resilience, initiative, tenacity. That is the definition of a nigga.
Facts.
If we put in so many other things, and that's one of the reasons why women are not respecting us. We're too open to.
I'm gonna do a video about this.
We're too. You have to. This is not even my idea. This lady was speaking about it on
stealing
while I
it.
was looking Instagram. I opened it. This lady speaks about grit. Then she defines it. Yeah, grit is everything that pushes you, man. It's hard work. It's perseverance. Everything is defined in this one word. And I think a nigga needs to be that.
Team Begazela.
In fact, you have to have grit as a man. So I think Amachita Paya, they want to put so many definitions, and it's because we live in a world where there's too much information, and too much information doesn't mean correct information. It's not correct. We just need probably 20% of that information. That's it. You know the 80-20 rule. We don't need 100% of that. We just need probably 20% of
love
that.
the
I love the 80-20 rule,
The
Nja.
80-20
It's
rule,
flipping amazing.
You live by it.
You know what I mean?
But it's like even in a restaurant, if you have too many options, you end up taking forever to decide.
Yeah.
which one to eat.
Jaga.
But the
Young
moment
John,
they
But
give you like one
if they
page,
if they give you a limited menu, you make your decision like
Quick, young John. So I think Amachita,
very true.
just to close it, is the idea of don't have too many definitions. And I think one of the reasons why Amachita maybe don't want to have like a solid definition that pushes them through pain. Men have to go through pain. It's not you have to go through pain. So it's because
Men have to go through pain.
yeah, you need pain. That's not even a conversation.
yes.
No. We can unpack it sharp, but a man has to go through pain. It's a must. You have to. There isn't a thing where we can even entertain other things. Every single thing that we've seen that has been great in society has happened because of pain. Whether it's emotional pain, it's physical pain, it's whatever type of pain. So I think
And the reality is that like you don't hear about that pain because like a lot of niggas don't talk about it.
yeah.
And that's also that actually is it's that's how it should be for me.
Like men shouldn't talk about their pain.
No,
Now speak with other men about it.
speak with other men.
'Cause the
Don't
thing is,
pump
you
the-
know,
Remember,
Remember-
as Amachita here,
Yeah.
part of you have a responsibility. Mind what you say.
Sure. Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
Is the fact that you speak about mentors in this system that you are. We are, whether we want to or not, going to be mentors to some of the guys.
No choice. Yeah.
So when you say men shouldn't speak about it, what are you saying?
No, I'm saying speak about it in your spaces. Well, me particularly, I wouldn't necessarily talk about it in this forum, but if I have
As you
gents
wouldn't
that
unpack the actual pain that you're going through.
yeah.
Oh,
not in this forum.
But
like,
you would say,
if it was,
but
if it
you
was
would
in
say
a-
the blankets of men must experience pain.
Yeah, no. Men must experience pain, and how you deal with that, and how you get through it. Yeah, sure. You might have a conversation with your gents and go, "Yeah, gents, I'm going through this, and this," and they'll advise you or whatever. But as a man, you'll still take whatever
pain.
your route is, and you'll take the pain.
Yeah.
Your gents will advise you, but the reality of it is that like your pain is your pain. No one can understand. You can share it to what you want, but my experience of it will be different to yours. Will be different to yours. There might be similarities or whatever, but like how I'm going through it, and because of my personality as a human being, will be different. But sure, we can talk about it. But don't. For me, I'm like, this is not for a public platform.
The actual details.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not for a public platform because I don't know, like I feel like also like there needs to be some level of like for lack of a better word, secrecy about you as a nigga. Don't
No,
put your shit out.
I hear you when you talk about the
People
details.
shouldn't know everything.
Sorry,
about,
guys.
like
I'm going through pain with my shoulder. So I understand when you talk about the details, but I believe that we have a responsibility, and at least at surface level or top level, just unpacking at that level. Uguti, guys, you need to go through pain to a point where you provide for your family and yourself. And that's good enough. Because when they're hearing it from you guys, whatever pain they are going through, then they can apply it in their life. But the mere fact which I'm
But I
going
also-
through pain
but I also
because
get
me
that,
now,
like-
umshado, uwenza kanje.
so
But
let
then-
me take it back to the corporate space, right? Like and these are experiences I'm going through at the moment where you have people that will deal with pain that they're going through, whether it's loss in the family, whatever the case is, and they will let that pain impact how they work, right? And you can't go and be like, point fingers at the person and be like, fuck you, whatever. Because ultimately, as I say, going back to human beings, if you were to lose a parent, how you would react and how would I expect you to react is two very different things.
Okay.
And if you broke down and you were not able to work for the next year, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like, cool. That's how you deal with it. But don't expect to push that onto me where if I go and God forbid, I lose a parent, don't expect that I'm going to now not work. And I
behave
think
the
there's
same.
you know what I mean? Because also going
But
back
that's
to
an
his thing
unknown-
about
but-
like
but
grit,
that's an- but it's
where I
an
go.
unknown.
So here's how my mindset
but that's
works.
an unknown.
No, I know, but I'm just going like here's how my mindset would work. And unfortunately, we speak about a topic that like is unfortunate, but it is like if I was to lose my mom, God forbid. But ultimately, the one thing we know is that certainty in life is death, and it'll happen at a point, right? My immediate mindset goes to the next thing I've got to do after that, once my mom is gone, is I've got to look after my brother and my sister. Going back to his thing about grit, to go, Kevin, it doesn't mean that everything shuts down now. Because now, you don't have mom looking after my brother and my sister. Now it's just you. The two of them are looking up to you. So I've got to be strong for them. That's where my mindset is at. So I've got to go. I've got to have that grit to be like, yo, this is my job now.
Can I tell
That's
you
a stoic. Memento
You know what I
mori.
mean? That's my job now.
Memento mori.
That's my job now.
can I tell you a story?
But then when it happens in a corporate sphere, because that's where my mindset is at, my immediate reaction would be, if that happens to an employee of mine, I go, if you're a nigga, my immediate mindset, before I apply Kevin, the boss, the HR factor of what Kevin needs to do, whatever, I'm gonna go, yo, nigga, you need to harden the fuck up. We gotta go.
Can I tell you a story?
And close it.
I will give you your time to mourn if the situation was that. But 2 weeks later, my mindset will be, yo, my dog.
Niggas gives
Siso, can I
he
tell
gives
you a
niggas
story?
Can time to mourn. What type of position is that?
Can I tell you a story? Because my story goes to the unknown.
Yeah.
Nah? Because we sit in certain privileged situations and we assume
You're gonna be like this.
that we plan.
Yeah.
We assume and then we plan to be a specific way. Nah? And those that are watching are religious, they say God laughs at our plans.
Yes.
Because it's unknown unknowns. I got a call. Nah? I got a call, the time is like 9:30 in the evening. Intwana uva. Ah no, at that time I was staying in Fender. Hey bruv, there's a guy, he's going through things. Please can you pull through? What's happening? Ah no, Ntwana, just be ready. Anything can happen. Oh, ne? So obviously, go star, double, tuck in, crane. When I'm ready for whatever goes down. We jump into the car. I jump into the car. I'm at the back. Nah, the golf pulls up. My boy is driving. His boy that I don't know is in the passenger seat. Nah. Hey, much in the crane. The guy in the passenger seat, he's fuming. He is fuming. I'm sitting in the back seat. I can sense the tension. Much is like 50 cent in the car. If I can do it, homie, it can. So I'm like, oh shit, it's about to go.
You're getting hyped up.
I'm getting hyped up. Which is like DMX. Rough Rider.
Yeah.
I'm in that zone. I'm like, damn.
It's going down.
Yeah, well, what's happening? This nigga's fucking my bitch, bro. Oh, this nigga's fucking my bitch.
Damn.
So, but listen, I'm in the car. Don't do that. I'm in the car now. I'm sitting in the back seat, and I'm like, these guys are hyped. They so hyped. I'm sitting in the back seat, and I'm like, okay. I ask, how do you know? And he's like, no, he paid the security guard to monitor
His girl.
his girl and who comes in with the girl. So his girl goes in with another nigga. So the security guard calls him up.
Yo, they're fucking your girl, nigga.
This guy had already foreseen a potential what, and he got her keys cut. Ne? So he got her keys
Leave
cut.
me by the side of the road. I'm not part of this
No,
thing.
no, this is, no. But you don't talk now, because if I call you up at 2:00,
I'm there.
I know you there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Sharp. So I got called by a person that I couldn't say no to.
Oh, sharp. Get you.
So
No,
we drive there. Now the security are like, Bapezu. So now we go up the stairs, we go to place, and now we have to unlock.
Slowly.
Ne? She stays in a 1-bedroom flat. Shy pink pen. Didi. Ne? So now we go and we open the room. The guy opens the room. His girl is getting back shots, bro.
Yo!
Back shots. Tough.
Jesus.
Dog. Experts. Ass naked. Ne? They see us. Guy puts on a sheet. She puts on the other sheet.
And there's 3 niggas.
Huh?
There's 3
Three
niggas.
niggas. We walking into it.
And one of them is armed.
I'm like, I wasn't armed at the time.
Nice.
I'm like, it's about to go down.
Oh, you were still violent at that time.
Bro, at that time I was uncomfortable. At that time I got excited by the phone call. I was that shit. I was that guy. I was like, I'm
Okay, cool.
I was in a different mindset.
Yeah.
But we get there. The guy goes in and he sees his girl getting back shots. And then this guy, big rugby guy, muscles like this.
The guy that's smashing the girl.
No.
The friend.
The boyfriend.
Oh, the actual boyfriend.
The
The guy that was
boyfriend
driving.
is like, no, he's on the passenger seat. My boy is driving.
Oh, sharp.
No, but now you're in the house already. You're seeing the action.
So the guy whose girl is getting smashed.
So the big nigga, the
big
rugby
nigga
guy
is the
is the one who
boyfriend.
opens the door and he
Yeah.
sees it first.
And he
Because
sees
it first.
He sees his girl getting smashed, back shots. Proper. Danga, literally.
You know, I'm trying to figure. You probably saw.
you know-
you saw like Papa day 2. He's
Yeah,
like,
no,
proper.
Penson.
Danga,
Because
no one is opening like
no,
this.
but hold on. If this guy is as big as you describe, when he opened the door, if those 2 other niggas behind him, and you were the last nigga, you didn't see any back shots. You probably
I saw back shots, bro.
You probably saw.
You saw
like,
proper.
Bro, you saw-
He's not opening scissor. He's not opening the door. Nah, because he's like. And we hear,
No, but all of you were like,
all we hear, Grant. Danga, literally. I can tell you when people stopped. People stopped because he goes, wow. And he just cried.
who? The big guy.
No.
He just broke down.
Who broke down?
Who broke down?
Cheetah.
The guy whose girl it was.
The guy whose girl it was.
The rugby guy.
He broke down.
Oh, damn.
Of course he would.
He was
No, of course he would.
he was hailing.
And then the 2 of you came in hard. The 2 of you came in hard like, yo nigga, what's up?
No, so my boy is now focused on the business grind. And I'm shocked. Because I'm ready. So what I do, because I'm trash, I close the door, I lock the door, and I put the keys in my pocket.
With all of you inside.
The room was inside.
We have to solve it.
No, the keys are in my pocket, and I hold back because I'm waiting for this guy to stop crying. Yeah, I remember this lady getting she didn't get the dick out of her. She goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
The girl.
And she's swearing at the
The guy that's crying.
Yeah, Mina, I'm just watching this guy. this guy's trying to go as a game soon. Okay,
The guy who
Yeah.
just pulled out.
we just put I was like, hey, for a second. So now, hey, so So now he's sitting on the edge of the bed,
Naked.
with his hand naked, ass naked, on his
For
phone.
5 figure.
Yeah, I say it's done now. There's no more hardness. It's done. Because he's looking at me, looking at him. And I'm like, it went back into his vagina. Because I told him, I want to go away. I want to when I tell you stories. Because now I'm waiting for this guy to recover and to give
So
us the
that we can
mandate.
do the thing, yeah.
This chick is on him.
You can't do
I'm
much.
gonna call the cops. Watch it. How the fuck? No, I love you. I love you. Whoa, let's work it out. I'm like, you just saw your girl being rammed.
So basically,
just
no.
so-
You know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? In that moment, you Penson,
Yeah.
were like, you know what? We should be fucking smashing this guy's face in. Why are we not doing it? That's what you wanted.
No. I was
You
just
wanted
dealing with the guy.
the guy who was smashing. Penson wanted to be fighting. He
I'm
wanted
not fighting with him. I'm stomped the yard. I said, he's sitting on the edge of the bed like this. He's looking down. He's got his hands on his stolly like this. He must say nothing. The lady is just going at this guy. Fuck you. Fuck your friends. I'm opening a case. This guy, after he wipes his tears, guys, let's go. Yeah. Eventually, now I have to take the key out of my pocket.
You're the idiot now.
Now I'm the dumb, and now we're sitting in the car like this. What I'm
You
trying
left
to say?
they left the lady and the guy.
I'm.
What are you trying to say?
I'm a friend of
no,
a
hold
friend.
on. I want to actually
I'm a
understand.
friend
What are you
of a
trying to say?
friend.
What are you trying to say?
So ultimately, where I'm going to with this whole story is, we don't know how we're going to react.
No, I know how
So-
I would react in that situation.
We hope that we
hope.
react.
No.
we-
I know. No, I hear you.
But-
I hear you.
Ye-
But
yes.
like, so maybe my
we
thing is like,
plan.
so I'm an overthinker. So like, I've thought about scenarios like this millions of times.
I don't disagree with you because
So-
I know you.
But like, I also
you-
go
and
in
you
that
don't just-
scenario. If that
but-
was me,
but you
if
don't
that
just
was me,
think,
and
but-
I had
but
suspected,
Kev, you don't
I
just
had-
think, you
no,
plan.
No. Yes, I plan.
Yeah.
And because I would have, regardless of the situation, not hoping that it happens or whatever the case is, but like, because I overthink scenarios, I get into scenarios like this in my head, regardless.
But
And for me, and even if it was with a woman that like I really cared about, I know myself. I would get into that scenario. And so for me, in that scenario, I would have just gone, open the door, saw that shit, close the door, shout.
I agree with you.
Out the building.
no, but
out the
I'm
building.
saying-
What he's saying is
I'm
that we don't know the Kev.
I'm saying, Guti,
No, I know.
I'm saying, Guti, there's known unknowns. There's known knowns.
No.
and then there's
Let me tell you.
unknown
Let me tell you. Let me tell
For
you where my
example,
unknown
you-
unknowns exist.
you
Let me tell you.
open the door.
I know where my
Yeah.
unknowns exist.
Sure.
If it was with a girl that I'm with, and that situation happened, I know what my known knowns are. I would walk away.
What are you unknown?
If I walk into a room and I see someone raping my mother,
That's an unknown.
Yes, that's what he's saying. I get it.
as a person who carries, I'm shooting on sight.
Okay. Now you
Right?
walk.
Happens with my sister, happens with my brother.
Now you
That
walk
is-
into a room. Now you walk into a room and you sit there and your girl is with your mom. That's an
What do you mean?
unknown.
What do you mean?
That's exactly what I mean.
My girl is with my mom.
That's an unknown.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
As in you've
You don't
never,
know how you wanna- you probably live with the Robin.
you just said you're an overthinker. And I'm saying there's aspects that you've never thought of.
Like my girl is
Like
smashing
your
my
girl
mom.
or your mom is smashing your girl. I'm saying that's a
I wouldn't-
concept. That's a concept
You've never probably thought of, yeah.
ever played in your
Because
mind.
anything would have happened in
That's what I'm
zero.
trying to say.
Oh, I
now
get
when
you.
you walk
Yeah,
into a
no, for
space
sure.
where a concept that you've never played in your
of,
mind
yeah.
is there.
Because what?
Oh, well, in that situation,
Because you know what it
right
is.
now,
that's-
I'd rather be like, what the fuck?
Because
I'll be
But
traumatized.
even the same-
yeah, exactly. You can't be angry because you're traumatized.
I'll be traumatized.
So
yeah.
you be the guy on the floor crying because you don't know what are you.
Well, I
crying
don't know about crying, but like I'll be traumatized.
because you don't know how to react.
The thing
You don't
about
know
it,
how to react.
even in the same situation that Penson was in, where your woman is being smashed by someone else, né? you're saying that you would know how you react. What if Ntwana, by the time you come in, there's a serious scream, Ntwana?
Of pleasure.
Ntwana, get new. You're like, I've never heard that scream.
Not even that. No, but Tebza, hear me out. There's one thing that we see in our mind's eye
for me,
reality.
that. So, and I'll tell you why that wouldn't upset me as much.
Sure.
And maybe it's in my particular perspective. I always operate with a level of expectation of disappointment.
Yeah.
Is that because of trauma?
Potentially, yeah. But like the one thing I know of myself is I build in my thinking
Scenarios,
with anything, I build in a significant buffer that is disappointment.
How sad is that?
No,
I build it in. And so that's why I can say with a level of confidence, in a scenario like that,
significant
so the scenario you threw out, my mom and my girl, that's out of this world, right?
It's out of this world.
But a typical scenario is that you walk in on your girl being smashed by another nigga. That is a very typical scenario of a nigga, right? So for me, I build that in. I build that in. I would never
fight the nigga.
I operate from a perspective of do not ever be surprised
Until
that your girl would fucking cheat on you. Do not ever be surprised.
No, but hear me out.
Do not ever. And so that's why for me, like, if I was to see my woman, I've seen it.
But not like that.
Not like that. But I've seen it happen. Not the back shots. Not the back shots. But I've seen it happen.
No, but you've seen texts.
Yeah, I've seen texts. I've seen.
No, we've all seen texts.
Yeah, but you could. But how many niggas? How many niggas?
But I started a text.
No, but listen.
How many niggas? I started the chat about our insecurities.
But how many niggas do you know? But how many niggas do you know that have gone off on a text?
Hey,
killed people on a text.
Hey, man, it's a lot.
They haven't even seen the back shots.
Yeah.
They've seen text and they've gone and fucking shot the nigga. But you know. Like, as an example, right? You know there was that video on social. No, listen. But you know there was that video on social where there was that personal trainer who got shot and killed on a video, right?
You've been through more than that. I'm saying there's people that haven't gone through it. You just got and you told us a fucking deep chat about your life. There's people that have been shielded and their first traumatic experience is the text.
But that's why that's why I say,
because
as for me as a man,
if your
my principle
experience
my principle is but that's what I say,
you would have acted differently.
Fine. But based on my upbringing, and there's nothing to do with but based on how I think, my psychology is to always build in a significant layer of fat that involves disappointment.
It's sad.
And hurt.
You have to.
Because regardless, you're going to experience it.
No, but I find it very sad.
Rather, for me, it's rather be prepared than be caught unawares. Your boy was caught unawares.
I agree.
That's why he cried.
No, I agree.
That's why he cried. That's why he cried.
That's why you see your boy. You're one of your boy.
That's why it's not my boy.
He cried on the floor. No, he's your boy, dog.
No,
you got called up. You went with your homie.
No,
you went with your homie, dog.
No, it's my homie's boy.
You went with your homie.
No, it's not my boy. It's not my boy.
You were a ride or die that night.
Okay.
You were a ride or die.
You just met Debsa today. Debsa is my boy. I called you and I say, Kev, I need you, bro. Right now.
Please crying.
Right? Debsa, you only met him today. But Debsa is my boy.
But if I walked in, so let's paint that scenario. Let's paint that scenario. And I walked in.
Who are you?
Debsa.
Okay,
so I'm the guy Penson called. And Debsa walks in and he sees his girl getting back shots. Yeah. And then he climbs on the floor crying.
Yeah.
He's like, yo fam, listen. Are we fucking this nigga up or are we leaving?
Yeah, that's
me.
Quickly.
I'm like, yo, nigga, You don't have time to cry. Are we fucking this nigga up so you can get your frustration
the,
out?
the reality is
And
that
if you are fucking this nigga up, let's fuck him up properly.
the reality is
Let's fuck him up properly.
But hear me out.
Or we're leaving.
No, but hear me
Don't
out.
fucking
No,
lie
but-
on the
but
floor
hear me out.
crying.
The-
You were there. Your problem is you were willing to observe. You were
was
like,
it
shit. You took
did
the
nothing.
time. You took the time to get the key out the door.
I locked
put
it.
it in
I
your
locked-
pocket.
I locked
it.
and
You-
then
you did
were sitting-
nothing.
you
I
were sitting-
locked it though.
You were sitting. You
I
were
locked
willing
it
to
though.
take
I will
your
not
time
call you.
to go.
I will not call you.
Because
No,
can I
dog.
tell you where I was going?
Penson is
I wanted to
disappointing
know
us.
a simple thing.
Yeah.
Do you know the guy or not?
Yeah.
Because
He doesn't need to.
no, it's
Dude, me never at the time.
if because you must understand.
You just walked into your girl getting back shots. It
But
doesn't
why-
matter
why
whether
is
you know the
hitting
nigga.
the
no,
guy,
it's
guys?
victims here. Because if the guy
Fam,
was
if
no,
I walked in
Kev.
and you were giving my girl back shots,
no, not me,
I am
'cause you know
fucking
me.
you up.
No, but you know me, right?
I am fucking you up.
But you know
I
me.
am telling you.
Oh, because you know
But
his
listen to me.
potential.
You're not listening, Linda.
No, listen.
Listen to me.
Listen,
You
if
walk
I
in-
walked in and you were smashing
Say
my girl,
Caesar. Say Caesar. Say Caesar.
Caesar, if I walked in and he was smashing
And
my girl,
Caesar was. Caesar
no, not
was.
Caesar. You,
No, but you know me, and I know you.
I am fucking you up, dog.
He knows your
But
skills.
listen to me. Listen.
I know you, but I'm fucking you up.
If the guy you don't know, the guy has an element of saying she told me she was single.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't care, dog. What I'm saying to you is,
You are
what
the
I'm saying
friend.
to you is,
You are not the boyfriend.
dog. What I'm saying,
It-
listen to
no,
me.
you're not
Listen
the
to me
boy.
properly.
Ah,
Listen
Penson.
to me properly. Listen to me.
Penson, wait.
Listen to me. If I walked in that scenario,
As
if I
who?
didn't know the
As-
homie, I'm fucking
as-
him
As
up.
who? Who are you walking in as?
Regardless. But if I walked in that,
If you walk
Penson,
in there and
Penson-
Deb's us person, you gonna climb in. You so I
Yeah,
call you.
of course.
I call you.
of course.
Nah. So you need to manage yourself based on me. I'm the secondary guy. You're the tertiary guy. Deb's us primary.
This guy.
He cries. I, the guy that calls you, I called you. And managing the crier,
No, listen.
you're
listen.
gonna skip
but-
me
but-
and
but-
him.
No,
Kev,
but
Kev,
you know,
jump
but you know
into
what the
this
weird part is,
I don't
right?
think you'll
On the-
fight.
no, but listen. On the way there, ne, I am asking what the situation is.
He doesn't know the situation.
No, but hold
He's
on.
suspecting the
But you're
situation.
suspecting.
Yeah.
You didn't call the niggas. You didn't call the niggas
Yeah.
without the
He's saying,
suspicion.
I suspect my girl's
No,
is being
exactly.
nagged. Yeah.
So by the time we arrive, we're on some me in my mindset.
As a
If
tertiary-
you called me and then we
As
got
a
into the
tertiary-
car, and you said, "Yo, I suspect that where we're going to find my girl being smashed by another boy."
I want to go back home.
In my mindset,
Yeah.
Now,
well, in my mindset, I'm going, okay, you're basically saying we're here to fuck a nigga up. That's what you said to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Without saying it. So when we arrive,
That's the mission.
I'm going, if you open the door,
It's a shy.
and that's the nigga we're fucking up. Because I've already arrived at the premise that we're fucking that nigga up.
You waiting for me as a guy that's
No, because we were in the car, we discussed it.
You don't know. No, it's
We
not
discussed
like
it.
that. It's not discussed like that. Because
But you're telling me I'm
here's
going to sit in the
guy-
car. I'm
no,
going to sit in the car.
This guy, whose girl it is, has the right to say, "Whoa."
No,
Yeah,
he
done.
doesn't.
He does have the right. It's
doesn't.
his girl.
It doesn't.
It is his girl.
For the nigga.
but
For his
okay.
no, we're not
He's
fucking up his
right.
girl. We're fucking up the nigga that was smashing her.
No, he has the right to say to
Yeah, guys.
all
To
of-
the gents.
to me and you.
Hey, we're not gonna
Whoa.
fuck this boy up.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Never.
Maybe he
bro.
does. No, he does.
Then you wasted my time.
Remember, you're gonna take
That's exactly
instruction.
what
You're
I'm
gonna
saying.
take instruction from the guy that called.
Yes.
You won't just go in. Ja. I
No,
think
but-
that's it's very.
I make
But
a little
hold
bit of
on.
sense.
Yeah.
But
it makes sense.
But what I'm saying is this:
Sure.
is if I've gotten to the point where I am phoning the gents, going, gents, whether so let's take it as a so let me take it back to this scenario. The three of us, you've just met me. To use that scenario, right? If I call you,
because of his
armed or not, right? No, regardless of him and I have just met. But we leave here in the next hour. And I suspect for whatever reason in the next hour that I've now just found out this new piece of information. My girl is getting back shots from my nigga. I go, Penson.
Whose girl's getting back shots?
Mine.
Oh, okay, sure.
And I go, Penson. You've just arrived home. But I need you, dog. And you go, as my homie, you don't ask questions.
Sure.
You go, sharp, I'm there. do I need to bring another gent? I go, yeah.
I come.
But in my head, I'm going, I know why I'm saying yes. Right? You phone me, you go, hey, Chief, Kev, I know you guys just met, but he's in a bind. Let's go. He goes, sharp. Now, I come pick you up, I come pick him up. We're on the way. Guaranteed on the drive there, he's gonna ask or you're gonna ask.
Oh, Jeff, what's
Kev,
going on? What's going on?
But the mandate is to
And
come
then
out.
I go, gents,
That's smashing.
I just got this text, this whatever. My girl is at this place. This is where we're going. And there's a nigga there. And I suspect there's back shots happening. So I've already said in the car, yo, when we land,
Yeah, Ziakal.
we're going
Ah,
out.
it's Ziyakhala.
So,
Uyakhala.
so for me, I'm going, my expectation is if I walk in, ne, and for whatever reason, like your homie did.
Somebody
I
hold
see
me.
it.
Somebody hold me.
I
Somebody
see
hold
it.
me.
Okay, fine. Like that gent did. And I walk in and from being fiery and going, I want to fuck this nigga up to breaking down. My expectation of you two gents is you're going to go, hey boy,
But we don't know the dynamic though.
I don't care. I
She's
told
been
you what the
shambok.
dynamic
What
was.
dynamic do you want?
You walk in.
What more dynamic
What do you want?
I'll
What
give you an
dynamic do you
example.
want? I told you what the story is and you've just seen it.
Kev walks in, he sees his brother, God forbid, touch wood.
Nah,
He
we
sees-
can't hear him.
We don't know.
Oh, we can't hear it.
But we don't know what we
That
don't
is
know.
simple.
Debs, we don't know. Have you seen Kevin's brother?
Oh, I see.
No,
We
but
don't
at that
know
point I
what
would
we
say,
don't know. Nobody, you crying on the floor.
Oh, he would cry. Man,
no, come on, dog.
Bro,
Come on, dog.
the guys
No, no, at that point I would not.
No, guys, we need to wrap up.
Yeah, we need to wrap up.
All I'm saying is, if at that point it so happened that I walked in and I saw Penson, dog, you're going down.
But you're crying on the floor. You can't even
I
say.
know. Kev,
You couldn't even say it.
Kev has a problem with Penson smashing. The issue is
It's just curly hair. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up, boy. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up.
Guys,
Anyway, to wrap up, yeah. No, but Penson, I think at the next one you need to answer like whether you feel like your blackness is defined by curly hair or not.
no, it's how he said it. It's all about how he said
No,
it.
but even
I
in the
knew
way
where
he said
came
it,
from.
even in the way he
Where did
said
I
it,
come
right? I feel like you felt some type of way because you were like
I'll define
he
it.
was trying to like take a like I feel like you took what he said as
that's a
he's
good-
trying to take away my blackness because I've got curly hair.
yeah, and I was linking to that. Yeah, but
that-
that's
You know what I mean?
that's a play
It
on
felt
the
like
thing.
it felt like you went.
That is a good.
You're saying I'm
talking
not
point.
black enough because I've got curly hair.
That's a good talking point, and
But
it's
we'll wrap
been
it up
heard,
next one.
and we'll unpack it. Fuck you, Tebza.
Okay.
Fuck you, Kevin. But
What are you? What like 50 Cent said? What are you saying? Fuck me for?
guys, but I truly appreciate you guys. I think more than myself, there's a lot of gems that a lot of people who are going to listen to this have taken. It's crazy because I've known Kev 2019, 2021. I've known him for a significant time, and being in a space like this, I've got to know him a little bit better. You know, so that's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I truly appreciate you, Kevin. Thank you, Tebza,
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me, man.
No, man, I appreciate it. Thank you, Sizwe, in the back. Sizwe, guys, he's managing 3 cameras by himself
And sound.
and yo, Jesus Christ. So he needs a raise. Sizwe needs a raise.
He's just like, yo, let's
Sis-
wrap this up.
Sizwe needs a raise.
Season is a race, I think.
Oh, okay. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Please do the right things.
Yeah, we're about to hit this, man. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. We're down. Ramnat. God damn, niggas. You guys talk. Hey, the show is getting better and better. Huh?